Welcome everybody to the channel. It is I, General Zod, and tonight I have very special late night talks. I just got done watching an amazing movie, and it spurred me to talk about one and only one topic tonight, and it is probably one of the most important topics we can discuss because it encompasses everything that every channel talks about. And before I jump into that, I'm just going to let the panelists introduce themselves. We'll probably have more of the late night crew come in. Go ahead, guys. Tell everyone about anything you got coming, Mr. Perp. Why don't you start first?
Yeah, it's perp. I got some video ideas. Don't know where I want to go with it yet, but expect something. So
I know that's right. And the man himself, the properest of the proper,
I couldn't hear you when your girlfriend Bitchy Unicorn was trying to suffocate you with the towel for a second. I don't know what was going on, but you sounded like
sound like a Charlie Brown character.
yeah, exactly.
Wah,
Like,
wah,
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 wah.
wah, 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 wah. No, but I swear I was doing okay. Wah, 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 wah. Hi, what's up? My name is Justin Proper, and you can expect something on Perp's channel, but sometimes there are weeks where you can expect nothing on my channel at all. But when I do post, I post it for a reason, and hopefully that's the takeaway from it. And it's a lot of fun. I only do it because it's fun. Even though I am monetized, I don't do it for money. I do it just for fun. Um, yeah, Biden Touch is here. What's up?
And the Senate. Senate, you make a great point. I see that you're editing your stuff. We're going to get to all of that because uh, tonight's topic is going to be.
You deleted his comments?
No, YouTube did.
Oh.
Yes. So
No,
tonight,
that's what I meant. I was just like was it you? Was it YouTube? What the I don't get it.
so tonight is going to be about actually that very same topic. We are going to talk about censorship. We're going to talk about these safe spaces. We're going to talk about colleges and their atrocious shredding of the First Amendment, of destroying the right for people to have opposite opposing views. We're going to talk about that all because tonight and last night I watched a movie, and this movie inspired me to cover this topic more heavily because even in 2019, even though these events happened about 2 years ago, we are now more than ever coming under fire from these various companies. And tonight, maybe YouTube pulls my channel down, to which case I don't care because if you check my description, I have a link to a podcast I will be starting. So go ahead, YouTube, give me your worst shot. But I mean, we're going to talk about all of that stuff because this goes back to
Your worst
everything that's
shot.
been trending on Twitter. This has been going on Facebook, all of this nonsense. And we're going to talk about it all tonight. I want you guys' inputs and feedbacks. This is probably one of the most important topics that I think any of us can really cover. Because when you look at any of our channels, we are trying to give objective and pretty fair reviews from our own perspective. Uh, Perp, I know you're a fan of The Last Jedi, or you respect it a lot more than most, right? But just because you
Yes.
have that opinion, I'm not saying, you know what, Perp minded, fuck you. I don't want you on my channel because you're one of those Last Jedi
Well,
lovers.
well,
I
well,
can't
well
stand it.
I'm a degenerate, because I like the Last Jedi.
Ace degenerate.
So.
That's a Cobra Kai joke. By the way, Zod, I hope you'll appear on this stream that I have once season 3 comes out. That'd be great.
Oh yeah, you know,
You have to
come
do
on,
it in the
man. Cobra
dojo.
Kai
You
was the
have to
fuck.
violate the rules one more time. Do it in the dojo.
Oh,
Please.
okay. I will broadcast from the dojo
Yes,
just
that'd
for
be
you,
great.
Proper.
Yes,
And I
do
will
it in the
turn my camera
dojo.
on.
Just say like, "Hey, I got to do something. Sorry, boss man. I'll clean the floors later," which you usually do.
Which I usually do anyways, you son of a
With a
bitch. You're not supposed to
toothbrush.
give the word.
Oh, we weren't supposed to say that. Oops.
We're going to be saying a lot of things that should be said because
That
you know
shouldn't
what?
be said? Oh, gosh. No,
Oh
I
yeah.
had to say it. This had to be said. But
So
anyways, the
for
topic
instance,
at hand.
yeah. For instance, you know what? I have a lovely guest here. I'm going to highlight them. I have the Senate here, and since I've started my
Lovely
program, the
guest.
Senate.
Is
Yep.
he coming on the stream? Do you want me to send him a
No,
link?
he's a guest in the chat. He's got like VIP chat. Okay, because the Senate, since I have started, has always gotten some good jabs, even when I go on other streams, right? And do I take this offensively? No, because I enjoy having an opposing perspective. And what is happening now, today, probably even on Twitter now as we speak, is this mindset that there has to be one point of view, that there has to be only one side to an argument, that you can't say what you want to say because if you do, if you go against these crazy people who are lining up and trying to get everyone in step, you're an alt right, you're a racist, you're a Nazi, you're a man baby, you can't accept change. And is it just me, guys, or was this fucking country founded on the idea of changing, on the idea of
I
being
mean,
innovative?
this country is built on a lot of fucked up things, but go ahead.
Yeah, but that's a part of our history, right? Perp.
Yeah.
How do we
Like what? Are we
change?
supposed to
Do
be?
we ignore it?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. We take the good and the bad. That's what makes us better individuals. Even if you're just talking about a person, an individual
It,
is
it,
created.
ignoring it is why we are having issues moving forward now. People don't want to talk about race, or people don't want to talk about certain things. But sometimes you got to put certain things, like there's a way to go about it. Hollywood might not know how to do that right, or it could be just anything. But it's definitely conversations we should have.
Yeah.
I almost not quite. I don't quite disagree, but I have a different take on it. I take. I guess maybe because I don't have the same experiences as someone else does, or that Zod does, or that you do, Perp. But what I will say is that I actually think that not talking about it and just thinking like it shouldn't be a big deal. We shouldn't make a big hissy fit over what race someone is. Like that's never been a concern of mine at all, and I don't think it should be a concern for anybody, in all honesty. So I think like not avoiding the issues that have come in the past. Yeah, like that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like in future references, just like I don't know, just not really like making a big deal out of it. I think is more beneficial, but maybe I'm misinterpreting it.
And welcome, Anarchy. Oh, to the channel. Welcome. And Corporal Shepard had a good point here. He said race is too overtly, overtly. Okay,
What?
maybe I'm a Zod mess up. Overtly.
or relevant?
Yes, nowadays.
Is too. Did he mean relevant? I don't know.
Irrelevant.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
I think it might be prevalent. It's too
I
prevalent.
disagree.
Prevalent, irrelevant. I don't know what it's supposed to say.
Oh,
If you
prevalent.
say irrelevant, I would
Yeah,
have to disagree with that.
I think prevalent. But he's
Prevalent,
going off of
yeah,
I
he's
think
like
what I
prevalent.
said. It is made, I guess, if I could just say, just where I'm coming from, just like I think it's made a bigger issue than it actually should be. Because I think we should be past this by now, but unfortunately we're not. So I don't know. But what do you say, Perp?
You know, I'm gonna make this example, right? Take Watchmen, for example. You know, I find it interesting when I look at different people that review the show. A lot more black YouTubers like the show than white YouTubers. There are white YouTubers that like the show, but it's just, one weighs out the other. And it's like certain people, because the first episode they talk about, they show you the Tulsa, Oklahoma, Black Wall Street massacre, and a lot of people were offended by that, mostly white people. Just saying. But that's a part of our history that gets swept under the rug, and instead of bitching and complaining about, oh, this is not Watchmen, why don't you turn this into a conversation where like educate people on this for those that don't know, because there's a lot of people when that came out didn't know about it.
Exactly. Perp, you have an excellent point, and I'll tell you, me myself, I'm enjoying the Watchmen. I'm not caught up yet, so don't spoil anything, but I'm getting there. And I think that the problem is you have one side who goes, oh, this is leaning into the SJW route. You have another side go, oh my goodness, they talked about a massacre of black people. Oh my God, what is this show doing? You can't say that. We can't show that.
I want to add to that because like people say like I don't want to see like black people getting mowed down, but people are perfectly fine of seeing like anything that has anything to do with Nazis and like internment camps and all that stuff. Like people are so fascinated about that, but then when it comes to a black black history, like people automatically call it SJW or whatever the fuck they want to call it. But there's double standards on both sides. Right?
I don't know if I'm understanding the argument here. I think so, I don't know if I get like what, like people are ashamed when they talk about black history or something, like what, like I don't get it.
It's just weird to me when people say things like, oh, I feel uncomfortable watching this, but they're okay with watching something that has to do with like the Holocaust or something like that. Like that's, or just like like that, just that comparison. But it's just weird to me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't really. I think I don't know like I don't know who you're watching or whatever, but I'm surrounded by people who are uncomfortable by all of it or really none of it. There's no really middle ground that I can really think of. That's interesting. That's been your experience.
And this is the thing why I want to talk about this, because it's the bullshit theory that was created recently. And watching this movie, I learned a lot of things I didn't know.
What was the movie called? You haven't mentioned it.
No Safe Spaces.
No Safe Spaces.
Yes. And it talks about the theory of a safe space, right? Which it's a good idea, but in the realm of what we do and in the realm of media or even discussion, by definition, you can't have a safe space because conversation is not supposed to be safe. It's supposed to be talked about. You're supposed to give your viewpoints and your ideas, and we're supposed to learn and grow through communication. Now, if you say, for instance, think of a safe space like a box, right? You create yourself this giant box, and now you're only putting in to your box people who think exactly like you, who share the same views. Well, yeah, it's nice in your box, but then you're not letting anyone into your box, and you're creating a narrow-minded view. And that's how narrow-minded views are created, because you're not taking in any other input to be processed to maybe expand your way of thinking. You're saying, these people agree with me. These are my people. So we're going to all
Right.
just share this little box. And if someone comes into my box with an idea I don't like, then they can get the hell out of my box. I don't want them in my box. This is funny to me because this is the exact thing that creates racism and prejudice and people being mean to each other. These are the things that create intolerance, is boxing yourself in. The world's a big place. The United States of America was founded on the idea of having different cultures, having input, of expanding your mind.
There's a reason why it's called a melting pot.
Exactly. And, these colleges have created this Safe Space Act, right? Where
they created an actual act. Like what are you
yes,
talking about? Like who did this? Is it signed into law or something, or is it just like a policy
it's a policy
that
amongst
people have?
It's a policy that was created by these head professors and these people in charge of the colleges, where they create these places where people can supposedly have safe conversation without being attacked, right? And in these little zones, they're supposed to be able to
Wait,
talk.
so it's like a church?
Okay. Clearly, I don't think either of you guys have been in college recently, like in the last couple of years when this was a thing. So allow me to just come in and just say that I was kicked out of a safe space.
Oh God!
I wonder why.
You proper?
Mm-hmm. I tried to be
You're
nice,
the
but
safest person
it was
I
just like
know.
the littlest things that you say will just get you booted. If you have a differing opinion that's problematic, I'm not going to go into detail onto what I said or what the circumstances were. That's for another day. But yeah, they're very overprotective, and honestly, like this creates a problem. Like people say, like that they say the alphabet community, for a reason. Just because they're of course talking about the LGBTQ AAIP or whatever the fuck it is now. I can't keep up with this shit. Oh no, sorry. There's two Qs. Excuse me for my bigotry and non-inclusiveness. But this is the reason why I didn't come out in the first place. Just like I don't feel like I belong with you fucking weirdos who just want to dictate everything just because. Look, I know we had a hard time like 10 years ago. But it doesn't mean that you get to dictate everything that happens and you get to speak for me on behalf of the LGBTQQ AAIP plus
That
whatever the fuck community. Like, I think that this is so problematic. I'm like, shut the fuck up, bitch. You don't get to speak for me. I think that person was fine,
it's the same.
saying their thing.
It's the same thing in the black space. They always have to have like a TI or something like that speak for all black people. Like, no, you don't speak for us. Like,
Right. Yes. Thank you. Like, just because it's offensive to you doesn't mean it's offensive to everybody. That's why I like refuse to go to the LGBT centers ever, because there's just a bunch of people who are like, I'm gonna be honest, they're like way too gay for me. Like in terms of just like I don't know, just like it's too extra sometimes. One and two, like I don't agree with a damn thing that you guys say. Just like, oh, maybe we should go on Twitter and talk about this thing. I'm just like, no, just let people like have their own opinions. Like you could disagree, but like let's not make an organized attack on it. Like what the fuck are you guys doing? You don't speak for us, and two, it comes off as disingenuous. And so I'm not trying to like say that these whole safe spaces are for gay people. No, that's not it. But what it is though is a how should I say, it's something that was fundamentally created by a bunch of white professors who wanted to protect the feelings of what they considered marginalized individual students particularly African Americans, and which is a term that I don't even like at all. Just unless
Yeah,
you're like an immigrant from you were born in New Jersey, not Africa. I don't so
yeah.
you're an American. You're not an African American. You're
Africans
an
don't claim
American.
us.
Yeah,
Africans don't claim us. So
yeah, exactly. So I mean, that's where I'm coming from that. But not based on what I said, based on what my best friend said. But anyways, getting to the point though, they want to protect the feelings of these people, and for LGBT people as well, because they think we have to protect their feelings and make them feel safe, just like instead of exposing them to the real world where they're not going to be prepared for any of this shit. Like this is an institution. College is supposed to be an institution for learning about what you want to do for your job, not about political correctness. Like what the fuck? I've never been treated more like a child in high school than I have in college. It's fucking ridiculous.
and this is why bullies are somewhat needed in society, because if you
I don't necessarily agree with that,
but just the sense of like you deal with a bully and you just learn from that experience, and some people handle a bully.
what you should do instead is just expose the guy for being an asshole and then give him the swirly. Just
pretty much.
Yeah, just
I love I love Corporal Shepherd in the chat right now. I'm reading his comment. It's hilarious. Good on you there, mate. Yeah, but I mean, and this is what I want to talk about, because I just listened to the two most level-headed people, and I followed these people, but never knew exactly how level-headed they were. And the documentary was by Adam Carello and Dennis Prago. Hopefully, I'm saying that right. It's a Jewish name. But these guys have a podcast. Adam Carell is from The Man Show. If you guys don't know, he is the more logical. Carolla, thank you.
Corolla, not Carell, not he's not Corellian.
Just to file it in the improper list. You have enough clips of me messing stuff up.
No, I refuse to put you in any of the videos because I would have to actually clip it, and I don't feel like going through that. You deserve your own video. You suck when it comes to that. I want to get that. If you ever find that stream where LB is saying "Fi Ye," find that. I would love to. I'd love to do that. Anarcho H. I have some, but it's just I'm not counting them or anything. They're friends, So that's where I stand with that.
They were talking about these ridiculous scenarios, and look, this people. I don't get political on my channel, but I'm going to get political right now. This goes beyond conservatives, beyond Democrats, beyond liberals. There were liberals in this documentary eaten alive by their own party, and I'm doing air quotes, because they dared to even have a thought outside of this hive mind lockstep thinking. They dared to say, why are we protesting something? You want to hear something funny? They have this thing at Everett University. This was a big thing. I never knew about. It was 2 years ago. And they do this thing where there was a month that they celebrated a play where this guy talks about what would happen if all of the black people stopped coming into work one day. They just didn't come to work. They didn't do anything, didn't pay for anything. And it was a whole big play. So every year this school celebrated this writer's play, and they would do something where they would have all of the the African American students, I'm trying to be politically correct, they would not show up for classes. It was kind of like a celebration of this play, whatever, that's fine and good. Well,
I'm sorry. I just no. Go ahead.
Yeah. The story gets better. So
it's ridiculous.
That year,
I can imagine someone saying saying something really terrible there. like an excuse for someone to like cut class. You know? Like,
Classes,
that's
yeah.
like, yeah, that's like that's like a dream for some people. Just like that was a dream for me. I would have loved to have gotten away with that, but
Yeah, I don't know how to go
Well,
to English class. Word.
so
they're like that's
so
like, how does that benefit people? Like that's so stupid. Just like, you know, there's
but it
so
gets
much
better. It gets
wrong with
better,
that.
proper.
Okay, all right. Oh
So
God.
there's a riot that started in 2016 at this university because the deans got the bright idea of telling all of the white students and faculty that they weren't allowed to come on this day for this event. So they flipped it and they reversed it and said that all of the white students, the white teachers, had to stay at home. They couldn't come in that day. And if they did,
School, Jesus Christ, where I live,
and if
like
they did,
what the fuck?
and so
Oh,
this guy, now keep in mind, this is a diehard leftist liberal, right? This guy who teaches liberal arts says, wait a second, what? He goes, do you realize how ridiculous this sounds? And the school board doesn't even tell them that this is optional. They say you have to stay out of classes. It's going to just be all black people attending this day. And he goes, no, this is ridiculous. Do you understand the meaning of what this is supposed to be about? This is honoring a black artist and stuff like that. Flipping it doesn't make any sense to what this whole thing started as, to what this whole thing is about. The celebration of cultural being, integration, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And so he's like, no, I'm going to show up. I'm going to teach my class. And why are you having faculty going home? Because every year the faculty is excluded because you need people to teach the classes. But they didn't even give these people input. They just said, this is the way it's going to be. So he came to class. Well, when he came to class, he had people outside of the door rioting, like saying that he was disrespecting this holiday, that he was opposed to black people, that he was racist because he decided to come in and teach his class. And I'm just listening to it going, this isn't a real thing. So I looked it up.
Wait a minute. So the school district says, like, okay, all the white people have to leave.
Mm-hmm.
And the one white
professor, a university.
Okay. Oh, it's a university, of course, because high schoolers are smarter than university faculty.
A university.
That feeds into my point. Like, just you're treated more like a child in college than you are in high school. It's ridiculous.
So then,
or protesting. Holy fuck!
So then a protest organized, and the students overtook the faculty. They marched to the president of the campus's office, and they demanded that he be fired for coming in. And then they let the students hold a meeting with this dude in attendance to say why he should be fired, because he was violating their rights as African-American students and disrespecting this monumentous occasion, which first started into a debate, and then as these people do, it started into a shouting, and then it started to a riot, to where the preceding days, this went on for days, okay, 2 or 3 days. This guy, every time he went to go into his classroom or go back to the university, they were following him, and they would dial on their phone to other people who would try to block him from coming in and things like that. It was so bad, he got campus security. And now here's the kicker. The armed security guards told him that the university said they were not allowed to step in.
So, wait a minute. Okay, first off, Perp, what's with the fucking typewriter?
No, my fault. It's my controller.
Oh, okay. He's playing video games. No, I get it.
Playing some Star Wars.
Oh, the Fallen Order, or
No, I'm playing Force Unleashed too.
oh, okay, all right. No, that's cool. Yeah. But that's kind of ridiculous. Just like, well, thanks for having my back, assholes. Like,
Yeah,
you know, I would think that the universities would. It's just, I don't know what it is, but just whoever's like in power just always seems to just be so stupid in the logic of how they think. Like, it's just like I don't like. This is why I graduated. I could have graduated a year early. I chose not to, and did like another semester. It was like a school program, so it's like it kind of like, you know, it was a different circumstances. But I could have graduated a year early, and thank goodness I did. I couldn't do another year with being surrounded by fucking idiots who like think that they know everything about the world. And it's so weird because there's this counterculture to the counterculture. The counterculture used to be in the 1960s the hippies, who at least had a decent taste in music. Now all these fucking millennials that are my age just like are just into like they have the shittiest taste of music ever. They like people who have no passion when they sing, and I say it in air quotes, or people who just like don't even play instruments anymore. It's ridiculous. Or like they like the chain smokers who just are like bobbleheads. The worst concert I've ever been to. They're just like bobbleheads who just like, what the fuck is up? And everyone's like, hooray! And then they just go on stage and they just like, yeah, and they shoot confetti. And no audience interaction at all. Just like, fuck you. Why don't you just go stage dive like a real man? Or do you not have the balls to do it? Just do it. Have fun. Don't just like.
All right. Well, proper
Yeah,
swinging back to the topic.
But no, okay. But back on the topic, though, I'm just saying that I've had so many disagreements with my current generation, and now it's just like I feel like I've my entire life I have been surrounded by idiots, and every single day, I've been proven correct each time. Each time, as every day passes, someone stupid from my millennial generation says something stupid, says something like, "Oh my gosh, like I'm not offended, but I feel so." Oh, okay. Let me tell you what happened when President Trump got elected. Do you want to hear this?
Oh God, go ahead.
Is this relevant for the topic?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so I was in a theater class. Not kidding you, but it's just like it's like, how is everyone feeling? Says the professor, who I do love and I respect. And Bill Clinton did actually talk to our university and gave us the day off because she's a Democrat, I guess. If it was George Bush, it'd be like, nope, you still got to come into school. but it was interesting because she was like, how's everyone feeling? You know, and people were just like, oh, I don't know. And I didn't say anything at the time just because, I don't know, I didn't have the balls that I used to have. So I guess being in college, you know, I didn't want to like piss off everyone and get a bad grade on like the last month of the semester. So instead, I just listened to what everyone said and just kind of took note of it. And one guy said, he's like, well, I'm a white guy, so I don't have anything to worry about, but I'm really concerned about all of my friends who are minorities and who are gay and who all the African American students. You know, I'm very afraid about what they're going to go through because this is going to be bad. It's like he's acting like they're going to be all slaves again. I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? No, it's not. That's not. Like, everyone is acting like it's the apocalypse. What the fuck's wrong with you? Like, that's not going to happen. Like, everyone's going to be fucking fine. Like, shut up. also you're a white dude, and you know you are doing the most virtue signaling white dude thing that you could possibly do. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I was just like the person next to me, like I like saw that I was frustrated just by that comment, just like, but only that person though, and they were like, and we had a conversation afterwards, very briefly, just like, what did you think? I'm just like, I think it's hilarious, like just, and that's it. I think it's hilarious that it just like, why do people like him feel so guilty for being, not only being white, but just because the wrong candidate got elected, you feel like the entire black race is in jeopardy? What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, I don't get, like, no, like they're not gonna be slaves again. And I wish Perp was here to like make a comment and make this not just like two white guys like talking about like these issues.
here.
Oh, thanks. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, praise Jeebus. No.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I know people have their feelings with Donald Trump and stuff and all that shit. Like,
That's but to clarify, that's a separate issue. You could have your feelings on that, but I'm just talking about like he's a danger to like all of these, protected minorities. But like, and I don't even like that at all.
Because I was like, then what the fuck was Bill Clinton? Because he's the one that signed off on that 3 strikes law, and that's why like we have like mass incarceration. Even like that's a huge problem that he started.
Yeah. I'm glad, I'm glad out of everything that you said, it was Bill Clinton.
Oh, by the way,
I'm glad you made the connection because I didn't consider that. That's a very good point.
By the way, welcome Max Mama Bear, and welcome everybody who's in the chat. Got 10 people watching. Hopefully I can get a few more. This is relevant because you said some interesting points that I just want to touch on, which is that, it's funny when these people make an argument. The first thing they do, and Perp, you can back me up on this, speaking from the the African American side of things, they want to throw every other race into a debate. And something interesting was said in this documentary. They said, by taking and putting all of these races and females and genders into the discussion, you're literally painting a target on that group that you're supposedly protecting by highlighting the fact that you are protecting them. You're bringing out these stereotypes by highlighting the stereotype. No one was bringing that in. If I'm critiquing a movie and I'm saying it's fucking stupid because it's about this, and this.
No, right? And they make it about like race or gender or something.
Exactly, and then someone's gonna go, "Oh, you just don't like it because it has a strong female lead." It's like, no, I don't like it because it's a shitty movie.
Yeah, yes, we can all thank the creator, who was a white male, of Bridesmaids. Like, fuck you, Paul Fag. Jesus, like, no, I mean. Oh, wait. You might have to unlist this because of YouTube's bullying policy. Oh, God. It gets even better and better, doesn't it?
And this documentary touched on that. These sites, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, right? You'll have these crazy people with their posts. How many times a day, guys, do we see it on Twitter? These posts about Ghostbusters, about Star Wars, about rabbit man babies attacking, blah, 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 blah. And yet when you respond back, we're the ones getting blocked, flagged, notified, whatever. Poor Senate's been blocked so many times. I'm surprised he must like have a tunnel he digs out of Twitter prison. Because, I mean, and for what? For what? For speaking your mind.
Built an underground railroad for Twitter.
For the Senate build his own underground railroad.
No, I mean, I saw earlier that he's not white, so I just I thought that's, I don't know. Is he like, Who cares?
He's light skinned.
He's what?
He's light skinned.
Oh, okay. All right.
But I mean, Perp,
I could be
have
wrong,
you
Shannon.
ever
Just correct me if I'm wrong.
Perp, have you ever caught flack from um other black people about some comments you might say against a certain topic? Because I know LB has, which I was hoping he'd jump on.
No, I don't think I've ever ran into that.
You haven't ran into
Not yet.
I can tell you something though. One of my best friends, I actually saw Knives Out with him. Yes, I did see it, and maybe I'll post a review. Maybe it's too late to do it. I don't know. So maybe that'll be out. Maybe it won't. Not sure yet. But I did enjoy the movie, and I saw it with one of my best friends in the world. His name's Dorian, and Dorian is well, he was the guy who first told me, like, I'm not an African American, I'm an American. And I was like, and that was like in 4th grade, when we first like learned what the term was, really. So I was just like, wait, you don't like that term? Like, I thought that's just what, like, you're just learning something, as a child. Like, you don't know what the world is. You don't know, like, what offends people or not. Like, no one was thinking about that. You're children. So I was just like, wait, you don't like that term? Why not? I thought that's like what the term was. And he's just like, no, I'm just like, I'm an American. I was not born in Africa. I am an American. And so that's why I have that stance on that. And we saw Knives Out together, and I asked him for the first time, I said, Dorian, have you ever been racially profiled? Like, I have never bothered to ask you that before, because we've been friends since we were in 1st grade. We've been friends for, I don't know, 17, 18 years or something like that. Almost 20 years. Oh, my God. And I never bothered to ask him about that. And there's only been one time where it's been questionable, I guess. And he's just like, I usually don't have a problem. Also, like, he's like, because his dad is a cop, so that's probably why. And he's a very well-respected cop. So maybe that might be the case, but but also the town that we grew up in was just we didn't care about the race of somebody. That just wasn't an issue, and it's never been an issue, and it never should be an issue for anybody, unless you have like some weird PTSD from your childhood. I can't imagine someone who actually like is openly racist. Like, I've never experienced that before. Maybe it's because I've never
Look,
been in those areas.
I have a very old school family, and I've heard some racist comments thrown around here and there, different times, I guess.
Oh,
But,
I mean, like, I have with my great grandma, God rest her
yeah,
soul.
the old family that's kind of stuck, like, yeah, we don't really do that anymore. But there's a certain way of handling these kinds of topics, and here's the problem: is that these people, and it's highlighted great, and wait for my review, guys, but no safe spaces. If you've got this movie playing around you, anyone who enjoys listening to our different broadcasts, you really should go see this movie, because it really highlights something that Hollywood doesn't want to talk about, that people don't want to talk about. We are creating closed dialogue, and it's getting worse. It's getting to a point where people aren't even listening. They aren't listening to a debate. They're saying their point of view, and then they're yelling and they're cursing. And if you try to get a word out edgewise that isn't in line with what they believe, then you're done. You can't get a word in. You can't talk to people who don't want to have open dialogue. And the thing is, they're going to these colleges. They're coming out of school, and I think that Adam Carella put it the best. He said that picture astronaut training, right? There's zero gravity, and then there's gravity. And astronauts train to deal with zero gravity, right? Weightlessness, and all of that. What we're doing is we are creating zero gravity, and we're not training the kids with gravity. So we're wrapping them up in bubble wrap. We're keeping them safe. We're saying your views are okay. It's okay. You don't have to deal with loud noises. If you're
Oh my
sensitive,
God.
Johnny, that's okay.
Don't
Use
listen
your
to little
point of
Bobby down the
privilege.
street.
Yeah. Don't listen to his alt-right opinions. He's such a troll. Which actually goes into my review of Knives Out. Like, it's not about, like, there is like a big scene that has to do with the family arguing about politics, but you have the family on both sides. And the moral of the story is, spoiler alert, they're all assholes. So
Yeah, that's what I took from it. I was like, it's all about entitlement. It's just like they're all like they think they're all like wanting of everything, but they're like you said, they're just all assholes.
And here's the thing, that is a strong statement to what's going on now. We are creating entitlement. That's what they're doing. These colleges and these professors are molding entitled little pricks that are later going into the world, and they're getting jobs at these companies, and then they're pushing these views and agendas into our companies. This is how media is being shaped, because then these little pricks come from these Ivy League schools, and they start going into Google, and they start going into Apple, and they start going into
that's where it
different companies.
Started. That's where it kind of started. All these
Exactly.
SJWs. Like, it would be one thing if they were just talented and they could be able to do the job they did, and that they do, and they do a good job of it. But they also do a great job at censoring differing opinions, which they have taken advantage of, which is really unfortunate. And it's one of those things where, you can't find, like, I don't know how I feel about it, because it's just like, I want to be able to, like, if you want to find, like, I don't know if there's even a KKK website, but I'm just like, I don't even believe that this shit exists because it's been blocked out. I just want to know that it exists. So it's just like, does it exist? But maybe it's because of how terrible it is that people are like in Silicon Valley, or like, we're not going to promote it, we're not going to block it, and morally justified. But this, at the same time, you can't just hide people from the truth. You have,
Exactly.
if this is going to be a free society, if this is going to be the land of the free, you have to let people be free to do that. And this is something that I learned from a very young age. At the public library, people said, like, there was a kid who asked, like, can the KKK have a meeting here? It's like, and they said legally, yes, they are allowed to do it, even though we don't agree with it. They are legally allowed to do it, and because it's a this kind of a facility, it's a public library. Like, we cannot legally say no to that, because it's freedom of expression, freedom of speech, which is terrible. And, like, it's definitely, like, not something that you want to have, but it does exist. And to say that it doesn't exist, or try to deny its existence, isn't harmless as much as it is harmful. It really is. It really is really harmful. But to deny its existence, and it's also very obviously harmful to have these even exist in the first place. But the key to this isn't to just deny its existence, but to exploit it. I think that would be a very, very great thing to do more often. And to say, like, okay, Klan is having a meeting here, and just put it on a front page news. Just say like, hey, yeah, that would exploit them. And if
And
you
you
have a
put
disagreement, this is something that should be eradicated. At the same time, we can't legally do it because we have these freedoms, and that's the beauty of America. But at the same time, it's also like the horrible. So hopefully, I'm able to express this in a way that isn't, me. Hopefully, you understand. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
yes, because
Am I making
how
sense
you
at
explain it.
all? Like, because I feel like I've been rambling.
Yeah, because how you explain it is it's this way. Look, there is going to always be, as long as you have people who are fundamentally different, there's always going to be a radical different view from one person to the other. But we don't beat these things by
Oh my
just
God, Wookiee
pretending they don't
supremacy.
exist.
Actually, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Wookiee supremacy said, "I'd rather let the scumbags yell all about how they're shitty people. It makes them easier to spot. Shut them up, and they could be anywhere."
Exactly. That's a
Thank
very good
you,
point, Worthy.
thank you,
See,
Wookiee.
that's the thing.
That's
No,
exactly what I was
if
trying to say.
you ignore these things that exist, they're still there. They're just underneath the surface. And let's go to World War II. How did the Nazi Party start? Does anyone remember? Do people even teach history anymore? It was a
Well, I wasn't
underground
born then,
movement
so.
that gained power in the upper forms of government. And you know what? It was based out of fear and anger, right? Because after World War I, Germany was so devastated that they got no help, unlike today, where we'll bomb the shit out of a country and then rebuild it. No, this was the old days. They were like, you know what? You caused this, F you fend for yourself. Well, what happened was the people were poor and impoverished and worn torn, right? So here comes this charismatic guy who says, hey, you know what? I'll make us strong again. I'll make us better. We'll be the greatest thing since sliced bread, right? And anyone who and then it starts slowly. Anyone who has a disagreement, boom, they just disappear, gone off the face of the earth. And little by little, this little movement started creeping into different facets of the government. The next thing you know, this dude is controlling the shots. He's calling the plays. And ignoring it created a bigger problem than if opposition would have just opposed it head on. And then you had, when the war started, you had people trying to do appeasement. You had people trying to be neutral. And you had this force that didn't give a shit about neutrality or didn't care about, I'll give you a little bit, because they didn't want a little bit. They wanted the whole thing. And that is the same exact thing that is happening now. When you suppress speech, you are causing people to get angry and to dissent, and you're creating rifts instead of dialogue. All of the problems that get started in conversation are a willingness not to listen to the other side. Hey, I don't like everything that other people like, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to knock them for telling me about their view. Maybe they show me something that I didn't think about. Never happened with Last Jedi, but maybe someday. But I don't knock someone
Wait. What was
for
the
having that
like
opinion.
something that you didn't think about? Like what did you say about the Last Jedi? Oh, I just wanted to be on record.
Maybe there's maybe there's someone out there who's got a compelling argument for why the movie's quote unquote good.
Hold my beer. I think I might be able to do it, but it's a very slim chance.
But the thing is, that's the beauty, though.
It would take like honest. Yeah, exactly. It's the beauty of the conversation. Someone could love The Last Jedi, and I had a conversation with two guys from Star Wars Celebration this year in Chicago who flew all the way from New Zealand to be there. You can't say they're not Star Wars fans if they flew all the way from fucking New Zealand. And, it's kind of strange because the only reason that they really like Star Wars is because they were going to make new ones. And they fell in love with the prequels, the original trilogy. But they really liked. I guess they were more Disney Star Wars fans, so maybe that's it. One guy, he liked Rogue One. That was his favorite, and I took offense to that a little bit mostly because I'm going against the grain. People are like, "Oh, that's the best Star Wars film that Disney's ever made." I'm like, "Oh, bullshit! Force Awakens takes the cake. It's better than that. Like Rogue One sucks. It's useless, and except for the Darth Vader scenes, prove me wrong." But
see, that's your opinion. See, me personally, I like Rogue One for
I think
things that it tries.
It was a piece of shit. Nothing really mattered. It's like what Freddie Mercury said. Nothing really matters. The whole movie doesn't matter at all.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, Proper. What are we doing? We're talking about it, right? Perp, let me ask you something.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So, would you, being in the thick of it, and you would receive, according to the SJWs, you would receive all of this hatred because you're a black man. Do you think that your best tactic would be to pretend racism doesn't exist and just sweep it under the rug? Or are you the type of person who would face it head on?
I face it head on, like, because just ignoring it, just like, why ignore it when I could just talk about it and, come to some resolution about it, like we meet somewhere in the middle. But, some people don't want to have those conversations and don't want to, work things out. They like it the way things are. They're comfortable in their little space.
I just wish that somebody with a higher platform would be able to actually say something to these universities, saying like, "Look, like this isn't helping the next generation to ignore history." There was a kid. He was a British kid, so obviously, yeah. It is what it is, but he was saying that we should not learn World War II history. It's not as important as it is. And I understood what he was trying to say. He was saying, like, that's like, why are we teaching that in school instead of teaching how to balance a checkbook or something like that? In order to or a 401k. Like, why would we prioritize something that already happened that we could just look up on the internet as opposed to this? But I think that that's a different argument, though. That's like there should be a nice mix to that. But at the same time, I just want to, scream to this kid, just like, there's a reason why this happened, and we don't want it to repeat itself. History is gonna repeat itself if we just ignore history. That's the problem, is that people want to just forget that this ever happened. I mean, I understand why people are saying that we want to forget that slavery was a thing. Yeah, I mean, I would be pretty ashamed if I found out any of my ancestors had slaves. Like, that would be terrible if I found out about that. But I wouldn't try to replicate that. I wouldn't, learn from the mistakes of someone else.
Exactly.
And it's not all about bloodline. It's not all about bloodline. Just because someone did something great, and oh my God, someone is gonna say, because of the bloodline, that's why the rise of Skywalker is justified based on the links. But in all seriousness, though, I do have to say that just because you how do I say it? You shouldn't be judged based on your entire race. I think that's
and Hammer put it good. He said SJWs want to erase history, and I think that's what you're getting at. Proper is that people instead of learning from history, right? And think about college.
Oh.
College is a place of what? Academia, right? It's about learning. And
Supposedly.
now they're sitting there and they're showing the new curriculum, right, that these colleges are teaching. They've gotten rid of their civics courses and their American history courses and things like that. They're
That's
putting
high
in
school
gender
too. The
studies.
civics courses
And
have been eradicated from high school too.
yeah, civics, the basic principles of how we are supposed to treat people. And just think about how asinine that is. So these people are arguing that we should be tolerant, yet they get rid of the very thing that's supposed to be preparing us to be tolerant towards others' views and opinions. That's
They
the
should
whole
not
thing
be
of civics.
tolerance. We should be teaching them tolerance. Tolerance of different opinions. I don't want to hear another goddamn thing from any Hollywood celebrity's mouth about diversity or about equality until, one, they solve the homeless problem in California that's happening right there, right in my fucking backyard, for God's sake. I mean,
Oh,
Wait,
and
you got homeless people in your backyard?
no, I don't really have a backyard. My landlord
Okay.
lives in my
I'm
backyard.
about to say.
But but you know, there's a big homeless problem in LA, and right next door to all of these liberal elitists who make movies and make millions of dollars and don't even pay their fucking interns. Like Comedy Central doesn't pay their interns. Like they
and
don't
we're going to
make
get
enough
into
fucking
comedy
money.
too, because that's a very interesting
Like they don't
topic within
make
itself.
enough fucking money. God fucking damn it. You know, like it's, you know, they're capitalist, but at the same time they want to, you know, promote diversity. They just want to like showcase, you know, people. They're really like the most terrible people on planet Earth. Like they're awful. They're awful fucking sickos. Just exploiting their interns for just for what? For what?
For their comfort. Because
And
what do
also, like,
interns do?
they want
The
free
bitch work.
labor. They want indentured servants. So they have that in unpaid interns. You know, because like, oh, it's you know, it's about paying your dues. Well, unlike a musician, we don't even get fucking paid for that shit. For being your
Yeah,
assistant and not getting a fucking dime of your $300 million net worth. You know, it's so stupid. It's so stupid.
and this is the thing
So it's like
that I
it's
find.
a big double standard, and you know that's the Hollywood deal. But also when you're talking about universities, oh, that's a whole different monster.
Yeah,
You know,
swinging to that, right? Um, and I know this happened a couple of years ago, but it's still relevant, right? You had that whole thing with Ben Shapiro coming to university. These people rioted. This was at Berkeley, right? These people came out and they had to up
oh god,
security. And you want to hear the funny shit? The people who hosted this, the university wanted to charge the students for having him come for the security they're supposed to provide. They wanted to charge them $1,500. And it's like, because they have to up the security because of all of the protests, and they were giving in to the protesters' demands, saying, "Oh yeah, we got to cater to them, and because we have to get these security guards because of the protesters and their feelings, you have to foot the bill." How the fuck does that work? So, I could pay someone to put on a whole production cheaper than your security that you're supposed to provide to protect your students. But you want your students who are bringing this as a learning experience to foot the bill to protect them against people protesting. Don't go after the protesters. No, they're fine. They don't have to foot the bill. The people hosting the event have to foot the bill. How the fuck does that
what are you
work?
talking about?
So these there's there, the campuses have different clubs, right? So this was a conservative club thing that they had going on. So they wanted to bring Ben Shapiro in to speak, and there was such a
Who did?
backlash.
Which university?
This was Berkeley.
Of course it was.
Berkeley, yeah.
Oh,
This is
yeah,
supposed to be
the
refined.
Berkeley free speech movement. Oh, my goodness.
Yep.
Oh, yeah,
And
they even protested Bill Maher. Bill Maher, who is
the most left-leaning person I've ever heard in my life.
He's funny, at least. He's at
Yeah.
least hilarious, and I could have a drink with him, or maybe for his audience, I'd smoke weed with him. I would love to do that. That would be an honor. It'd be a fucking honor to smoke weed with Bill Maher. Like politically incorrect. He's hilarious. He's absolutely
there's
hilarious.
an interesting thing about that too. They canceled politically incorrect because he had
he said something politically incorrect. Yeah, but that's a whole different story, though.
Yeah, but
on to what you were saying.
So these people, right? They go on there. They go on Twitter. Of course, we all know about Twitter, right? They go on their Twitter. They go on YouTube, and they start a big thing, right? They got tons of people protesting. So campus gets nervous. They want to hire security. They tell the people who wanted to bring this guest speaker, students who, by the way, are paying tuition, probably a shit ton to go to Berkeley, right? So they're paying a shit ton of tuition, and then they tell them, you have to foot the bill for the security we have to pay to keep everyone safe. Just think about that. They're supposed to be providing protection for their students, but they're charging their students to pay for the security that they have to bring on for their speaker, instead of telling the protesters, if you protest, we will kick you off of the campus. That would have been the simple solution, right? Be like, hey, you can show up and protest.
No, because protesting is a right that the American people have. But
it's a right.
Not fair. It's not
until
fair
it gets violent.
It's not fair to charge the students at all. But what it would help to try to explain what you're talking about, because right now the way you're explaining it doesn't make any damn sense. Like,
it didn't make any sense.
No, I mean, it made some sense, in terms of just like they want to charge the students for it, and like that's bullshit. But you can't just kick off protesters because they protest something, because that's
it's not that they're protesting, it's the way they protest. This thing was going on even before he arrived, right? So people started.
Ben Shapiro?
Yes.
Okay, because and that was in Berkeley. Oh God. He wasn't even able to talk, and neither was Milo Yiannopoulos. Yiannopoulos? Is that his name? Yeah, Milo.
Yeah, I can never say that last name.
Yeah, Yiannopoulos. Like, try to say it.
And
exactly.
Yeah.
but I mean, that was a whole different monster, and. I saw his appearance on Bill Maher, and by the way, his 2 videos that he was in are among the top 10 still of Bill Maher's channel, YouTube channel, Real Time with Bill Maher.
But I mean,
on the top 10, the top being the overtime that he had, that he posts on YouTube, just specifically, and that's what I find very funny. Is that and that's why I also get frustrated when Bill Maher only has liberal hacks on his channel. I'm just like, all right, you're gonna have boring liberals who are just gonna be like, blah blah blah, Trump is bad, audience applause, blah blah blah. Like that's not exciting. You should have people who disagree with you more often. You should have it in every show. Don't just invite these idiots who have no idea and no actual real disagreements with you. It's just, come on, man. I knew there's a reason I liked you, but just, damn it. As a fellow liberal, I'm really pissed off.
But see, here's the thing, Proper. Here's the thing. With politics now, there's no distinction anymore. There's no distinction. It's all being leaning towards too much of one or the other. And that's where you have the problem.
For years, though.
No, but worse. It's worse than it's ever been.
Worse because of social media, absolutely. But like, how is it any different than what it was before? Like, we were always like a two-party system. The Simpsons even had it in the 90s during the 96 election in their Treehouse of Horror, where they were both Clinton and not Al Gore. Who the fuck is that guy's name? Bob Dole. Bob Dole.
Yeah, Bob Dole.
Dole. They had an episode where they were both fucking aliens, and they said, well, I'm voting for a third-party candidate, says one guy in the crowd, and they're like, oh, it's a two-party system. Oh, yeah, that's true.
But here's the thing, Proper. Here's the thing. Even the Democratic Party realizes that the party's being hijacked. You're not just talking about two opposing views that have always been here. I mean, it's always been different. This is different because there's no talking. Even in the old days of screaming and yelling back and forth, there was still dialogue. Okay, shit still got done. And nowadays, it's not just these political parties that are filling it, but it's entertainment. It's in every facet of media. This is the exact problem that we are having as fans, right? As normal people. Take your political ideologies out of it, and just as a human being, right? Your favorite movie and stuff like that, and say, you like a movie that most of the critics hate, right? Use any movie. It's like, say you like Joker, okay?
Oh, I love that
right, and you give it a glowing review, and you say it's the best, and then
it is
nowadays.
Best.
Yes, I know. I just have to shell it once a show. But like,
but
then you have people.
Remember the SJWs saying like, you have people like who are saying like, oh my god, Todd Phillips was trending on Twitter because because no female directors were nominated for a Golden Globe. Like, anybody gives a fuck about the Golden Globes. What the fuck are the Golden Globes? It's not like it's the EGOT award. The G stands for Grammy, not Golden Globe. So fuck off. It doesn't matter.
But that's just it, Proper. You have one person who will come out, a normal person, and just say, hey, I like this movie. I like that they talk about this, and this, blah, blah, blah. I like this scene, right? And then you'll have, and we've all experienced it, whether it's a trailer reaction or something, right? You know what I'm talking about, where you have that one person come on your thread and say something fucking stupid and nonsensical. Like, of course someone like you, like privilege, would like this. It's like, if you want to debate me, that's cool. But they're not spinning a facts of, I don't like it because of the cinematography or the way a line was delivered or something like that. They're spinning it like, oh, this is for racist people because it dared talk about this subject, which we can't talk about because we're going to hurt someone's feelings. And that is the culture that's been being built. And that is the thing that is the whole crux of the safe space theory, is that these universities, these places that are supposed to be of higher education, that are supposed to be preparing us or whoever goes there for the real world, is instead taking you, wrapping you in bubble wrap, and then someone's coming by and patting you on the head and going, it's okay. Are your feelings hurt about this? It's all right. Then, just go to your safe space. They're mean. They're racist. God forbid it's, hey, you need to grow the fuck up, man up. No, it's, they're racist. Don't worry about it. They're conservative. They're this, they're that. Yeah, they're males.
Label them all. They're like, oh yeah, conservatives. How dare they? Oh, these damn Republicans are so racist.
and they're calling you something.
Abe Lincoln didn't do anything for the blacks at all. Nope. Of course not. As a Republican, nope.
And that's just
but that's supposed to like be like, you know, Abe Lincoln, you know, as a Republican, you know, like what he did shouldn't be, you know, compromised. But I do understand when people say, and this is a conversation that I think we should probably have, is that when people are saying that it flipped, you know, the Democrats initially, you know, the Southern Democrats flipped the switch when it came to JFK. They literally flipped to Republican because of the whole race thing during the 1960 election, and same with LBJ. I still don't like him. I think he killed JFK. I believe that in order to become president. No, but honestly though, it just makes sense to just think of it in that way. That you know, like they definitely flipped the script, but it's not like I don't know whether or not that people really accepted it as that, because it's just like I agree with this opinion or the other one. It doesn't make you a villain for thinking back then when times were different. You know, does it really make you a villain whether you voted that way or not when you're like over, I don't know, 80 years old, like just, and you've evolved in your opinions and you think like some things are acceptable now and it wasn't then, and maybe it was because of societal pressure. Like, do we really need to villainize some of the just the bystanders, people who are just going with the flow, just like, I don't know what's going on, I don't know what's right or wrong, you know? It's, you know, my grandparents were probably, you know, on that same kind of fence in a way. Well, actually, my grandparents not so much. Great grandparents, they knew where they stood. But my grandparents, they were just like, I don't even know. We just want to like have a good life, like everyone else. We don't really care, you know, what everyone else thinks. Yeah, I remember my grandpa when he was in the Navy. He was saying that he had to take, you know, his other Navy guys to, like, there was a, you know, an African American, there was a black beach, there was a white beach, and they took them to there, and just like, and he was just saying like, why don't we just all hang out at the beach together? Wouldn't that be amazing? And I think there was a photo that I saw of them together, and that was just beautiful. Just like,
and
I think
real quick,
it was in the early 70s. But you know, it's just one of those things where it's frustrating to talk about because of a variety of reasons. And I'm sorry if I derailed that too much.
No, that's okay. That's all right. I just wanted to say later to Wookie, thank you for coming in, man. Appreciate having you on the channel. But yeah, see, I can understand what you're saying, and you know what, Proper, that's the whole thing about 2019 going into 2020 is, like you've said, just like all those many years ago, it's flipped again, but it's flipped in a very negative way. It's flipped in a way where we are regressing, and there are people blatantly saying, okay, so in this movie they did a poll, right, of people, these college kids, and they asked them, do you think that people should have freedom of speech, right? And these kids were saying yes, but they shouldn't talk about this. And so he's like, no, just simply put, do you think that people should have a First Amendment right to have the freedom of speech? And they had kids saying, no, they shouldn't have the First Amendment, that it should be amended.
In the
Irony.
60s? In the 60s?
No, today, in this very era.
All right, good.
In 2019, you know, they're going around for this documentary shooting and asking these college kids, like, you know, various people. Some people said yes, some people said no. You know, it was balanced. And they were asking, like, And some of these kids were just saying, we should get rid of the First Amendment. Just think about how dangerous that notion is, that we should get rid of the First Amendment
Oh, you know what?
for safe speech.
Okay. You know, when you're talking about safe speech and correct speech, or like wrong thing, if you will, you know, I remember on Nickelodeon, not kidding you, Nickelodeon, when they used to have, they were politically charged in some respect, but it was all positive. Like, they literally shut down their broadcast for 12 hours and said, go outside and play. Instead of watching TV, go outside, play, have fun. We're not going to do anything. We're not going to have any advertisers, but for like this amount of time, go outside, have a good time. You know,
Exactly.
pretend. And that's the kind of like political thing that you would want from a kid's channel. And even then, like, there was a debate, like a commercial spot, where two kids were saying, like, hey, should junk food be in school? I remember this very vividly. One kid said, hey, I don't think junk food should be in school because, you know, it's very bad for your health. You know, people like are going to make bad decisions. And then this other kid was like, I think junk food should be in school because you should be able to have the right to choose whether or not you want to have a piece of pizza or an apple. You know, that's the whole basis of our country.
And Perp, let me just ask you, because I know I haven't asked you anything for a while. What do you think? Do you think we should get rid of our First Right Amendment for safe speech?
No, because once you give that up, then you know they could get away with everything else. You know, they can start taking away your guns, take away everything.
And I mean, think about
Then
this.
we really be living in Nazi Germany. Then you can't say shit.
I'm glad you said that, because coming from you, I probably won't get pulled down. They'll be like, oh, okay, the white panelist didn't say it. It's all good.
Yeah, I kept my mouth shut on that.
But yeah,
Just
it's
think
just
about that.
that's just stupid. Like, people don't have common sense when they think about things. Like, think about that. They get rid of the First Amendment. You know how fucked you are. There, bye
I'm
bye
so
YouTube.
glad you put it
Bye
that
bye
way.
any type of freedom of speech. Because all those
You know,
people that are talking, everybody that clowns Trump and shit, they be in jail and shit. You're like, y'all want that? I'm pretty sure you don't want to meet Big Bubba in jail. No.
I mean, okay, you take a place like, say, China or Bangkok or any of those places, right? People will literally, if they go and they say something bad about the government, they will be dragged out of their homes and arrested.
Great.
This is not me just making shit up. Go look it up if you don't believe me. There's been cases of that.
Good example, because look at what's going on in China right now. People just getting thrown in jail and shit. Like, man, no, you don't want that.
And Curtis, I hear you, buddy. You can't get rid of snacks. That's a no-no. I fell on that part of the argument. But no, I mean, and these people are so stupid, because if you allow someone to dictate what the speech is, okay, say, let's live in a horrible scenario for a second and say we did get rid of the First Amendment, right? And we traded it in for this great new idea of safe speech, right? Who is dictating what safe speech is? The person you're talking to. So who's winning the argument? There is no argument. There's only one side, because that person can invoke the almighty safe speech, right? They can say, oh my God, you just said something that was a microaggression. Calm it down. And, fucking microaggression. That word alone makes me want to punch someone in the face. That is the stupidest shit I've ever heard of. I swear to God, this shit didn't exist before 2016. Like,
It's just retarded. Like people don't really realize what they're talking about. They talk about like getting rid of like any type of amendments and shit. Like it's just crazy. Like people really want to live in a fucked up world. Like
I mean, they don't realize that your speech itself falls under the First Amendment. So by agreeing to get rid of the right to your opinion, you are signing up to be, controlled by other people's opinions. And I mean, first off, how is that even a fun world? I mean, me, you, Proper, we can all sit here and have debates and talk about stuff. And I'll tell you right now, I love everyone who comes to this channel, and I love you guys as panelists and everybody. I mean, everyone I've ever had on a panel, because they all bring something different. They bring a different perspective, and they bring a different view. They bring a different life experience. Why wouldn't you want to experience that? Why wouldn't you want to know different things, to see things through other people's eyes, to get a sense of this world? Because it's a big world. Why would you want to silence that? Why would you want to get rid of that? Why would you want to have one dogmatic, narrow-minded view? It like astonishes me why
because
people would even want it.
because people like to live in their little small bubbles, and once you pop them, they get all antsy.
And it's crazy. And this is why the notion of having a safe space doesn't work, because inherently, let's be real, the world is a fucked up, ugly, dangerous place. Okay, it is. You've got your good and you've got your bad, but that's inherently human nature. By saying that the bad doesn't exist, you're trying to suppress the side of humanity that does exist. There's a lot of ugliness, but for every ugly, horrible action that's ever been, there's also been an equal and positive reaction. There's been something beautiful. From war, there's been beautiful things. There's been things that have changed the world, that has changed our way from thinking. Imagine if the civil rights movement never happened. Just like
We
imagine
definitely
that,
wouldn't be
because
talking
you
right
get rid
now.
of the First Amendment.
Definitely wouldn't
So,
be having this conversation.
right? I mean, if you talk about getting rid of your First Amendment rights, you're talking about getting rid of people who have been fundamental in changing our very
Yes.
history.
Thank you. You're talking about people who may not have been able to say what they could have said within their First Amendment rights, and God forbid, I mean, not God forbid, and God, Lord knows that these people tried. They tried to suppress that, but people were like, no, nope, that's not okay. That's
And
not
Corporal
okay.
Shepard, thank you for hanging in with us. Your insomnia is kicking in, buddy. I
Thank you.
understand. And, you can catch the playback. But yeah, I mean,
These
by the way, if you lose a
conversations
good
would not
channel,
have been able to happen because of this.
wait, hold on, Proper. I'm
Okay.
shamelessly plugging myself. If you like this stream, hit the like button, and if you're new and you just jumped in, hit that subscribe button. Get that count up for the general. Continue. I'm sorry. I found I have to shamelessly throw in these plugs every now and again. I'm sorry to derail you, Proper.
I'm usually the one who does the opposite, so nice to have the flipped, the script flipped on me at least once. Yeah, it's all good. No, it's just it's unfortunate because the same party that kind of demeaned people for having a different opinion. Yeah, it's just people aren't stupid, and there's like a silent majority, if you will. Like there's a majority that are very vocal, but they are the vocal minority. It's not like there's a vocal minority and a silent majority.
Oh,
I have
well put.
uh so the vocal minority is able to spat things, on Twitter. Twitter is not
Oh,
an indicator of whether or not a president is going to be elected or not. We saw that a few years ago, if you could recall. But it's also not an indicator of what's going to be a hit or not, what's going to be relevant in pop culture. Because we have the same kind of stupid fucking people on there over and over again posting all their liberal shit, and they have every right to do it because it's America. Unless they're in a different country, then they don't have the same First Amendment rights, and fuck them, I guess. but you're able to have that because it's an American company. So come to America, everyone.
No, we got enough motherfuckers over here. Relax. You might want to just take a couple, take 5-10 years. Just wait. Wait till some people die off, then come over.
I'm glad you're
And this
saying
is
this shit.
why
Bro.
I don't like the fact that LA is a sanctuary city. Like, we don't have enough fucking people here. What the fuck?
Because all the celebrities are out there. People want to be around the celebrities.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing that is scary about this is that you said it best, right? There's a silent majority and a vocal minority, and everyone flips it and says that all of us who are part of the Phantom Menace, or the collective, or any of our groups,
the 1999 classic. Thank you very much.
They all say, "Oh, we are."
I think you meant to say Phantom Menace. How dare you get it wrong?
I'm gonna start my own. I'm gonna call it the Kylo Menace. Just for the Disney quote unquote trilogy supporters out there.
Oh,
Kylo Menace.
Oh yeah, the high-low majority.
But I mean, all of us who are part of these groups, right? They try to say that we're the ones with this loud voice. But here's the thing. They're the ones that are constantly...
Thank you.
They're the ones who are constantly highlighting us, right? I mean, I saw the Geeks and Gamers video with people, big publications taking notice as we get closer to the rise of Skywalker, right? And you know what? These people are the ones that are pointing out what we're doing, because we are just people who want to get a message out there and say, hey, look, if you want to talk, if you want to chat, if you want to have a good debate, come to our channel. Let's talk about this. Tell us what you think. And you know what? A lot more people are coming to us to get our opinions. And now these big publications, right? The CNNs, the MSNBCs, all these fucking show media, the John Campias, the fucking Colliders, the IGNs, they're all getting nervous, because it used to be, even some of us, right? We go on their channel, but now they're so scared. They're so wanting to pander and to kiss the ass of these big companies and say shit is good when they know it's not, that people don't want to listen to it anymore, because they're not getting two sides. They're getting one. Fundamentally, no one likes to hear one opinion all the time. It's boring. It's boring when you have people who are like, is this a great movie? Yeah, it's a great movie. I love it. Why do you love it? Emotional weight.
For what? For you personally? Because you've experienced the same thing that Clint Eastwood did in his Harry Carey movies? Like, did I shoot 5 bullets or 6? Or is that not the quote? Is that the quote? Did I shoot
that's
5
cool.
or 6? Do you feel lucky, punk? Have you been in that situation? That's why the emotional weight is there. And he clicks. He's like, oh, I think you just got lucky, punk. Shoots him. Just like, I mean, it's so absurd, and Hollywood is Hollywood, and they should get back to those fundamentals of just put out good shit. And I think that nowadays, the pendulum has shifted a little bit, and Hollywood and the Grammys also have been. The Grammys have fucking sucked for years. They all have the pop culture shit be up on the top. They never recognized, AC/DC won a Grammy in 2008 or 9. Like Thunderstruck wasn't a big deal. Back in Black, oh sorry, that was a piece of shit to them. Like that, like, I mean, I understand that the record sales weren't a big thing, but just like, come on, you don't recognize good music when everyone else fucking does.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
that's a good point because
like the Grammys and the Academy Awards are like always a few years behind.
Like the Grammys, they still don't respect hip hop
the
as a
most
genre and stuff. It
inappropriate.
shows.
Oh, they don't.
Male.
They don't what? Perp?
They don't really respect hip hop as an actual genre, even though it's been around for like almost 50
and
years.
Now the roles are reversed. Now they don't eat like I'm sick and fucking tired of Dave Grohl being the token rock guy at all the Grammys. It's fucking ridiculous.
Hello, Ginger.
It's offensive.
Dave Grohl does rock music?
He's the token rock guy that they invite to every single fucking Grammys.
I gotta say that Santa hat on your character is hilarious. I can't look at that.
It is pretty funny. And the Green Bay Packers, the Cheeseheads unite. Good for you to join us.
So, PB, how do you feel about this?
You lazy bastard.
PB, how do you feel about this safe space we've created?
Who created a safe space?
This is our safe space tonight. Tonight is a safe space where we're not going to name call. We're going to keep everyone.
Have you been listening to what we've been?
Oh, fuck that, you pussy.
Pretty much self-explanatory.
And PB has been listening.
No, I have not been listening. Apparently, I was tired earlier, and I fell asleep, and I woke up, and I looked at the clock, and I went, "You're supposed to be on the internet, you dumb fuck." So I took a piss, and then I jumped on the internet.
So, I watched this documentary today, No Safe Spaces, and it was talking about colleges creating and fostering this culture of safe space, right? And how it's bleeding into everything, and it's affecting conversation. Basically, I'm paraphrasing a lot. So I am talking about basically what we all talk about, PB, how the conversations are becoming one-sided. We're not having talks anymore. It's one side going, this is how I feel, and if you don't like it, you're a troll, you're a conservative, you're
a degenerate.
A degenerate, a white male.
No, I'm not a degenerate. I'm a deplorable. Get it right.
Ace degenerate, i.e. deplorable.
Tommy said the most politically incorrect channel around. Thank you, Tommy. I appreciate that.
Tommy, get it right. What a moderator you are. Oh my goodness. Come on.
Come on. I gotta get off the rails.
Tommy's a good guy. Yeah. No.
Tommy,
I honestly, Tommy, you go above and beyond anybody else in this entire community for the little guys. You are the moderator for the little guys, in all honesty. And I could easily be in a chat with other people, but I want to interact with people that I actually enjoy being around. Not that I don't enjoy being around the bigger YouTubers.
Well, I'm glad you could join us in this safe fucking space.
Thank you. I appreciate that you respect me when I'm in. You should be honored that I'm in your presence. But in all honesty, Tommy is amazing because he does this for everyone, and he's so good at it. And so I just want to give a huge shout out to Tommy and bind in touch. Yes, sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite, and don't touch me while I cuddle you while we're in bed. I would appreciate it if you did cop a feel without asking me first. Next.
Oh boy,
So
this
finally,
got weird.
so he's very hands-on when it comes to things like that.
But
Jesus.
yeah.
It's probably
So
going
swinging
on
back,
but
swinging back.
yeah.
to our
What were
topic.
we talking about? I'm sorry if I went on a
We're
little.
talking about safe fucking spaces.
So
Like panic rooms.
that's a great analogy, right?
So safe with PB in here. Oh my gosh, he has a Santa hat that's offensive to people who are celebrating Hanukkah. It's so offensive.
Leprechauns celebrate Christmas.
Of course they do. And you'll never
I think
find
that's
me
all
pot
of
of
Santa's
gold.
stuff.
They prefer to be called little people. Thank you very much.
But no, PB.
Make fun of my short Irish ancestors.
So PB, we were talking about the fact that these colleges, and I was telling some stories from this documentary that happened, different riots in Berkeley and things like that, over people coming to speak at these campuses and different events, right? And now it's getting to a point where these places are fostering this crazy notion of, safe space and proper speech and safe speak and all of this other nonsense that they choose to use in the labels and the buzzwords. And these people are graduating, right? They're graduating from basically indoctrination, and they're going out, they're taking over these companies, and then we're getting fucked over on Star Wars. So I mean, it's all connected. And this isn't just in colleges either. I notice as a parent, I notice going to the schools, and this is in junior high, this is in middle school. I mean, these things are going from when they're first starting all the way up till you continue your indoctrination into the biggest fucking Borg like assimilation, which is college, right? And the irony of the whole thing is they've created a safe speaking zone for the purpose of being able to speak freely amongst each other. But yet in these spaces, people are fighting, they're arguing, they're punching people. I mean, there's literally this guy who shoots on his camera. He's shooting this video about how he set up a booth about conservatism and stuff, and just giving out pamphlets. He's not pushing any views. If you want to learn about this
pamphlets.
is yeah. And this dude
I
takes the
pamphlets.
pamphlets and he's like, "You fucking Nazi." He's like, "You fucking white male gender cis blah 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 blah." All the buzzwords in a row.
Cisgendered. That's
Yep.
the best kind of gendered.
And he punches this guy. He punches this guy in the face. And what is he punches this guy on this conservative table, just giving out some information, punches him in the face, and the security tells the guy who set up the booth, well, what were you doing? They don't stop the guy who assaulted someone. They don't escort him off campus. No, punches him in the face and walks away.
Because in his mind, he's like, yeah, right on, brother.
Well, sure, it's, let's not arrest Antifa. Let's arrest the people that allegedly antagonized Antifa.
and it's like, so Justin, you said to me, the articles were kind of old, right? But now you can see where I was going with this topic. This is getting worse, and it's bleeding into other facets. I mean, this is these people are going to Google, they're going to Apple, they're going to YouTube, they're going to Twitter, they're going to Hollywood studios, and they have no creativity and a robotic way of thinking. So instead of
I mean,
questioning,
there's no way the person was bleeding after he got punched in the face by a wacko lefty. They're a bunch of weaklings.
nah, he wasn't bleeding. That's actually funny you brought that up. He was just like, he just kind of like dipped his head down and he was like, whoa. And here's the funny part, right? This dude punches this guy in front of a crowd of people, right? And security's there, people are there watching. No one says nothing. There were people joining in. And it's like, this is your safe space. This is your safe speak. Because to
Okay,
me, it sounded
when
like
they
a
say
one-man.
safe speak, what they mean is this is a safe zone for agreeing with what I say. That's what it means.
Exactly. And I'm glad you're here because, comedy. They had comics on here, okay? So they had Tim Allen. He made a fabulous show. You guys have seen it, Last Man Standing. Fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I remember him from Home Improvement and Toy
Improvement,
Story. You know, that's how I.
What is this Toy Story?
It's a story about toys, obviously.
Oh, okay. Yes, I've
So
seen
here's a
Last
good
Man
one.
Standing. It's hilarious.
It's
PB, you want to read this comment?
Sure, as soon as I look at this screen, because I don't know which one you got pulled up. The comment says, as a freshman college student who is a conservative, I ran into safe space bullshit, but I kinda am afraid to talk about politics as I'll likely get shit for it.
You forgot to say I haven't run into safe space.
Oh, I read it wrong?
Yes,
Fuck.
you missed a
Pull
very
aside.
important
God damn it.
word. I tried to correct you as you were saying it. Just like, no, you. How do you just like say like
no corrections from California?
No.
Go back to school.
No, there shouldn't be a presidential candidate from California right now. The last good one was Reagan, and we saw how that went. So,
No, the presidential candidate from California that we just had should not have dropped out because I love to laugh, and she was a wacky bitch.
Who's that you talking about?
How dare you?
Kamala Harris, baby.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, it wasn't because she was a woman, but
No, it's because she's stupid.
She is great though.
California. If she can't get her own fucking home state correct, then how is she supposed to run the country? No, thank you. No current representative or senator from California should even touch the presidential, debates. Like, no, get the fuck away. We don't want you. People, the rest of America hates California for the most part. No one likes this pretentious fucking state that thinks that they're better than everyone else. You know, it's fucking ridiculous.
I think Americans hate, New Jersey.
Well, New Jersey is New Jersey. It's mostly New Yorkers who hate New Jersey, and other people just have to drive through it to get to New York, so it's not like a big deal or anything.
It's weird.
But yeah.
I mean,
here's the thing,
I fucking hate you, dog.
To get from Ohio to New York City, yeah, we had to drive through the neighborhoods of New Jersey, and
God damn it.
It was annoying.
You better go chop his dog up. PB's about to go chop his dog up. Call Peter.
Yeah.
Apparently,
absolutely.
When I woke up and went to the bathroom, he also went to the bathroom. At least that's what it smells like.
At the same time as your dog? Okay, cool. You're on the same bathroom schedule. What's the problem?
God damn it. I gotta find it now.
You just find your own turd that you left in the house.
Jesus.
No.
No.
All right,
I didn't leave a turd.
But here's the thing. swinging back to the subject, right? So Tim Allen, he has a great show. Now, keep in mind, this is on NBC,
Don't
right?
talk about Tim Allen.
The
I'm
most-
sorry, we got the topic.
So he has a great show. It is number 2 in their ratings, right? Which is pretty high for NBC. People are tuning in. So he does an episode about safe speech and microaggression and all of that. Because in the episode, his daughter's applying to college and she's reading off the curriculum, and you know he's taking.
What the fuck is a microaggression?
I would like to figure that out myself. But anyways, they're talking about this, right? And he's like saying, you know, like sarcastic shit, like, how is this a course? Because, you know, she goes gender studies and all of this, and he goes, what are you studying about genders? He goes, go talk to your mom. You'll get all the gender studies you need.
You want an example of a microaggression? A microaggression is inviting an Indian to Thanksgiving dinner. That's a microaggression. Anything that's a passive-aggressive action, they count as a microaggression.
So me inviting Perp, and we talked about slavery and all sorts of things. I had a microaggression towards Perp. By that logic.
I mean, I guess. Like, if you owned a cotton farm and you asked Perp to come over and work, that would be a microaggression.
That'd be hella racist, and I'll probably slap the shit out of you.
Wait.
Exactly.
Wait, that's not a microaggression?
Yeah.
What the
Microaggressions are dumb as fuck.
No, like, well, it's dumb to ask Perp to go work with you on a cotton farm for fucking sure, especially if you weren't gonna pay him. Oh, we're gonna have unpaid interns, and we're only gonna accept Americans.
No, yeah, we're only doing unpaid interns, and they all have to be affirmative action hires.
Yes, exactly, because of diversity. You like this is the thing that Hollywood has. You know, like you can only have a certain internship if you are like whenever they have. And Disney does this all the fucking time. They just want women and minorities, but they want them for the unpaid internships. The unpaid internships is where you see the flourish of them, which is egregiously insulting because you should pay these people. And Disney, I think, if I'm not, they used to not pay them, but I think now they do. I'm not entirely sure, but they pay them like minimum wage. So,
Perp, let me ask you a question for a second. Do you feel more empowered? Because you know, Proper brought up Disney. Do you feel more empowered when you start to see that Disney is now having more diverse characters? They're having more black characters. Are you feeling empowered by this?
No, because they still don't have no black characters. You go on there, you go on the Disney Plus app, they ain't got no black films, no nothing. All I got is Smart Guy.
well, Cool Runnings isn't good enough for you because it has John Candy.
What?
That's not good enough.
How is that not good enough? Microaggression?
Microaggression.
No, I don't feel empowered by Disney. Disney's always been on some bullshit. So
Yeah, I agree. You know, like it's just like
No, he agrees with George. Disney's just a bunch of white slavers.
no, I don't support George Lucas neither. Fuck him too. Just say that's my
why do you
opinion.
hate George? What did George
I
do?
don't hate him. I don't care about him.
Well, it's just like you don't care about anybody else. You know, it's just like
If it wasn't for George
are you
Lucas, you would not have Ray.
no. If you understand, you know where purpose coming from. He's like Han Solo. He cares about nobody except for himself, except for his son, which he'll die for. Clearly, and be thrown into the abyss and forgotten about.
Which was epic way for Han Solo to go out.
You know what? I actually did like it too. I mean, not entirely the circumstances, but I like The Force Awakens, and I'm not ashamed to still own the DVD and slash Blu-ray combo because people are like, "Oh my gosh, you own the DVD? Oh, okay, boomer." I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I forgot to mention the Blu-ray combo. Like, yeah, I have the fucking Blu-ray. Yeah, because it's a great film. I like it.
And
No,
No,
that's
what you gotta say to fuck with people is say, I own it on a disc.
Don't scratch that disc.
and here's the thing.
I can scratch it as much as just like someone scratches a record. I guess like a real DJ.
Swinging back to the topic, so he did this episode, right? Tackles this subject. They immediately pulled the show. He had like 10 episodes left because like the normal 22 episode format. Pulled the show mid-season.
He pissed off the Illuminati. You can't do that shit.
So they pulled the show. He got picked up, I think, by either like Netflix or Hulu, or one of them picked it up, and they continued the seasons there. But I mean, so him and a bunch of comics were talking, and they're talking about how comedy in general is getting to a point where it's going to be like Russian comedy. This one comedian says, and he goes, those dolls that they have, and they open it up and it gets smaller. He goes, the fucking Russian people love that. He goes, oh look, there's another one, it's smaller. And he goes, that's Russian comedy. He goes, that's comedy when you can't express an idea, right? The basis of comedy is to be controversial. It's to make light of things that are, sensitive subjects that people don't want to talk about. So you add levity to it. And now you can't even do comedy in this era because, God forbid, you have a microaggression moment.
You can't offend people with your comedy. That's bad.
I'm glad you brought that up because, like, I want to bring up battle rapping because, like, there's this one battle rapper that hasn't battle rapped in like 9 years. He came back and said, like, you know what? I don't want to use the F word or call women.
Fuck that.
Stuff. I was like, yo, you're supposed to be offensive in a fucking rap battle. Like, that's the whole point. You can't, like, he's pretty much like
Eminem. Is that who you're talking about?
No, this is an actual, like, battle rapper. But,
oh, sorry, Eminem is too white for that.
No, an actual battle rapper, not a white guy.
And that was a microaggression by her.
That wasn't on purpose, but that's facts though.
Yeah. 8 Mile meant nothing. So I mean, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
But no, it's just funny to me when I saw the promo. It's like, do you know who you're going against? You're going against a guy that does not care about just making fun of your race or nothing like that. Like, and he's talking about, oh, I'm not gonna use the F word or the B word, or I just really just think about other people's feelings when I'm in a battle or something. Like, it's stupid. I'm like, bro, you should not be battling.
About other people's feelings when you're in a battle rap? Who the fuck kind of story boy is this? Who is
sure.
Her?
I know.
Let me use an example. Do you think that NWA would have been big if they didn't come out and say, fuck the police? Could you imagine the songs that we've had in the 90s translated now? These kids would lose their shit. You had Tupac talking about, he had a song that goes every city or something like that, and it's like the lyrics is,
don't fucking recite it. Don't do it.
Did you say fuck the police instead of fuck the police?
Oh, I'm sorry. I put my
NWA, by the way, don't ask me to translate that acronym. I refuse to do it, and I will never do it. I mean, you are right when it comes to explicit rap lyrics. That kind of takes away from that too. Just like we should be free to just like Don Rickles, I guess we should be able to roast everybody. It's like you're all subjected to it, or none of you are subjected to it. Like we should all be able to make race jokes about everybody, or we can't do it with anybody. That's equality, in case you forgot what it means.
I think NWA should change their name to POCWA.
That'd be terrible.
Yeah,
I mean, they
that
don't
would
want to
get-
microaggress against somebody. You
But it's
gotta
gonna
be
get to the
woke
point-
and use the right terms.
You forget that it's not run by a bunch of white dudes, man. So it's a little bit different.
Yeah, but like I'm hoping it doesn't get to that place where they just start like
We're already there, I think.
yeah, but like with just hip hop and stuff like don't
politically
start
correct hip hop. Oh.
yeah, that'd be terrible. Like Logic, don't be like Logic. Nobody likes Logic.
Who the fuck is Logic?
He's a biracial rapper that always constantly raps about how he's biracial. Like we don't
Oh, I
already
was
know.
gonna say, I always thought that Logic was the nemesis of General Zod.
Yeah. Yes. Me and Logic.
And his
got
name is
so bad
Logic?
one day.
Logic?
Yes.
Yeah, he probably spells it with a K, doesn't he?
No.
Oh,
All right, so he knows how to spell. Oh, interesting. You don't really see that with rappers so much.
But here's the thing, though. Swinging back to the point. Here's the thing. Imagine a world where these boundaries weren't pushed. And look, people, all
Yeah,
you
yeah,
NPCs,
use the
all of
way
you
back
soy people, in the 90s, they tried this shit. This was exactly what rappers were trying to fight against in their lyrics. They've been to court over this shit in the 90s.
Oh.
You guys remember that? Censoring games and all sorts of shit, right?
Wait,
We've
what
already
the
been
fuck
through this. Why do you want to bring that back?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Who was it? Snoop Dogg several times. Tupac, although I think that was more of assault charges. But
Okay, you're correct about that. Yeah.
Congressional Congress was summoned for the epidemic of rap lyrics and the mistreatment and misogynistic. They use the same terms, misogynistic.
And these were
lyrics.
Conservatives. Like,
Yeah, they were conservatives. Yep.
Here's a
it is the same thing about video games too. Just like when we're talking about like the game Bully. They wanted to this Jack Kirby or whatever the fuck his name was. Jack. His last name should be Ass because he made one of himself when he was talking about this. No, that was a cheap joke. But seriously, this asshole was saying like, oh, because Bully. I don't know if you all remember this game, but it was like Grand Theft Auto, except you were in school and you beat the fuck out of people. You beat the shit out of them, and you got to just punch guys in the face like the prefects, which you kind of wanted to do, but it was all about fun. It was like Grand Theft Auto for kids. And the reason why this Florida guy, this Florida representative, Florida politician was saying, his name was Jack, whatever the fuck. He was saying that this should be rated M because they involve two guys kissing each other. Because that was something that you could do. And by the way, your health would be replenished if you did this, if you kissed anybody. But especially if you kiss guys, it would go the full length, which is a kind of a little Easter egg. And all you had to do was kick flowers around, and you would pick it up, and you would give it to the guy, which was kind of sweet, if you will. But
gay guys want flowers.
Yeah, if you like, it gave you one person in each different class, like the jocks, the bullies, the nerds. They had at least one person that and the preps. You could have and the greasers too. You could have like one person, one guy in each one that was gay, that you could give a flower to. And but getting to the point, the Florida guy Jack, the jackass said like, oh, the ESRB, the entertainment, whatever, it's the rating system that makes it like E, T, or M. You know what I'm talking about. He was saying like, oh, this should be rated M because it has gay shit. And they're like, no, we know that it's in there, and it's still going to be rated T. Thank you. Goodbye. And I'm like, that's so great. So great. But, just the fact that it's there and it exists doesn't mean it should be vilified. And in a way, that game came out in like, what, 2006? 2005, like 2006 on the PS2? And they had like a
what a great system.
scholarship edition. It was actually pretty progressive for the time, just for including that. And it was edgy and it was fun. And you could you could do all the fun shit that,
You could do all the fun shit like making out with guys.
No, that, and you could if you try to you could give people wedgies, but if you try to do that with a kid, with a girl, she would just slap you in the face.
What if you tried to do it with a teacher?
What? Oh no, with a teacher, you could do that with a. Sorry, you could do that with a prefect, but you couldn't do that with a female prefect. With the females, they would always slap you in the face because that's wrong. You can't just grab their panties and be okay with that.
Why not? The president told me that I could just go up and grab him in the pussy.
Because that's not okay. You can't just do that.
What?
I mean, I think there might be an exception to the little kids. There are little kids that you give wedgies and it would work the same way with all the little kids.
Well, I guess it depends on how thick your wallet is.
But if you punch a little kid, though, the prefects are going to be after you, and you're going to have to mow the lawn, and you have to actually go through with it. Which
so then you can't progress in the game until you've cut the grass.
Well, you can always run over the prefect with the lawnmower.
Oh my God.
You can.
Okay. You know what? This game has just gotten a whole lot better.
You've never played this game before?
No, I was still playing Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, fair enough. But no, Bully's a different animal.
I get that now. Shit.
I mean, it's still T-rated, so it's not gonna be violent, but you'll have to redo.
I know, T-rated for gay action.
Also with the content that's in there, you have a teacher, the gym teacher. There's literally a mission called the Panty Raid, where you have to collect all the girls' underwear. That's kind of weird, but you have to do it for the gym teacher. But it's not something against you.
The gym teacher wants the underwear?
Yes.
Because he's a pedophile?
Yes. Yes.
I didn't realize that they put Jeffrey Epstein in the game.
Yeah, but they have all these different things that you could do. But it's not an attack against you, the player. You have to do these things because of the moral authority. The authority wants you to do these things. It's if anything, it's exploiting these things that are terrible that happen in real life. But it's just over exemplified. It's over exaggerated in this game. And I'm not trying to say oh, these are the right things to do by any circumstances, but
they're the right things to do in a video game. That's the whole point.
Yeah,
it's escapism.
like, look, you should be able to do whatever the fuck you want in a video game, as long as it's a fantasy, as long as people don't do it in real life. Video games, I think, prevent people from murdering each other. In all honesty, like if it wasn't for Grand Theft Auto, oh god, all
Yeah,
these.
I would have killed a lot of people on a motorcycle. Like that started well before Grand Theft
No,
Auto.
not even
Anybody played Road Rash?
not a motorcycle, not a motorcycle, a fucking bicycle. Anybody.
Oh yes, on the bicycle, just walking around with my gat. Pop pop.
Oh my god! Like you talk about mailbox baseball, like you just want to like throw a stick where they're just riding a bike and just have them crash and just have them get a concussion. You're just like, huh, good, yeah. This is what you get for blocking the highway. Thank you, asshole. That has
You blocked my fucking path. It's time for you to die.
No, but like, there are people who like ride bicycles in LA, on the highway.
It's time for them to die.
Well, it is kind of like a suicide mission if you're gonna be riding a bike and you're not at least doing it like on the very, very far right side of the road. Like,
and people be always in the street. I'm like, bruh, there's a whole bike lane right here. Like, fuck you in my way.
I'm just
I'll
like,
look at you.
what are you doing? It's just like you're asking somebody to play mailbox baseball with your fucking head. Just like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, what? I don't know what else. Like, I mean, seriously, like, I don't care if you have a child on the way, a baby on board, whatever the fuck. Just like, if you're riding your bicycle in the middle of the fucking road,
Stop it.
stop. Just don't do it.
Get out of my safe space and get into the bike lane.
I
Get
love
into
how
the
you
bike
swung
lane.
that back around.
Yes. I hope Babe Ruth hits you in the fucking head. Oh god, with this one of his home runs. The next person I see on a fucking bicycle in a non-bicycle lane. Ugh.
Hey, Zod,
Yeah.
did you see who they got to be in? What was it? The Home Alone Disney Plus series?
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that going
Fucking
around.
Simon Birch. Simon Birch looking motherfucker.
You know, and I mean, this all swings around to everything we've been talking about. It's why I brought up this topic. I mean, it's all relative to what we do. It was interesting for me to watch this and to see that there is actually a part of Hollywood somewhere out there that recognizes what's going on here. I mean, you had Jerry Seinfeld. They showed an interview with Jerry Seinfeld talking about how PC the culture is. He told this joke, when he was doing his comedy tours, and he told this joke about how, he about cell phones, and he goes, you go to the theater and people are supposed to be watching the movie, and you got these people who are on their cell phones, right? And they're scrolling through like those gay French kings. And he said after he got done, he goes, there were some people in the audience, and he goes, when you're a comedian, you can feel the vibe. And he goes, they were just taking a glass.
You scroll through your phone like a gay French king, like you care about your friends. Yeah. It's just like, are you kidding me? It's just like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Like you've seen that interview before. You're just like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Like gay? Like, what do you? It's like, are you kidding me? Just loosen up. It's a joke. It's a joke about how. It's not a joke about gay people. It's a joke about how you just frivolously just like go
No,
like.
it's a joke about the French.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
it's also about like how like the wrist. You're just like scrolling through, like okay, go through my iPad. All right, I've already expressed early in this stream how I feel about my fellow gay people and how they express their opinions You know, just like they are. Like, I mean, honestly, like I've never, like I've had to experience my sister having a slumber party with all of her stupid girlfriends. That's like the gay community sometimes. Just like, oh my god, yeah, we're gonna wreck your fucking house and shit. You know, we're gonna just like not like say thank you or something like that. That's something that I, you know, like some people do behave or they
Girls don't say thank you.
no like
Microaggression.
shut the no. I'm talking about like sometimes you know people act like teenage girls and it just like that's been my experience. You know, I'm not saying that like they all act like this. I'm just like no, it's just like some people just
No, they do.
tend to express it that way. Like scroll through your contacts like a gay French king. You know, as you said, Lee, like that's exactly my experience. Just like I understand where Jerry is coming from, and I understand his frustration. It's just like that's why he won't go to colleges. That's why he won't go to any college really. And a lot of comedians won't do that because of the political correctness about it. You know, it's just like you know, look. Do you want equality? Yes or no? And
Exactly.
if you don't, then
Go Canada.
you know you should be a racist. Yeah, you should be marked as a racist and a sexist because you don't want like look.
Well, then you
As,
can go
you know,
back to
like
South Africa.
the Don Rickles thing. You know, he made fun of everybody, and I think everyone. You know, if you believe in equality, then nobody should be able to be exempt from a joke. And
No,
you know,
everybody is fair game, and every subject is fair game. You can make
Oh,
jokes about cancer. You can make jokes about rape. You can make jokes about whatever the fuck you want.
thank you.
Now, that doesn't mean that I have to laugh at your joke. That doesn't mean that I have to find it funny. But if I'm offended by your joke, that doesn't matter because it's a joke. You're not being
right.
Exactly.
sincere about it.
Proper died.
Like, I listened to that whole freaking stream that Thomas was having when he had on, what the fuck was it? Mecha McCheese on, and he was offended that Anna has a cancer baby emoji on her channel now. So when you become a
No
member,
comment.
you can use that emoji on her channel. And I said when I was in the chat, I was like, you know what? She should get fucking 10 of those on her channel now because it's a joke. Like, yeah, you have the right to be offended by it, but you shouldn't be going on anybody's live stream and having an entire conversation about how you're offended by somebody's fucking joke.
What the hell
Like, you
happened to
can
Zod
go
then?
on and give your opinion and say, well, I don't think that it's a funny joke, and then somebody go, oh, well,
Oh,
I thought
thank
that it was a
God.
funny joke, and then that's the whole conversation. That's
Yeah.
it.
I got
Oh,
offended.
why are you back? Get the fuck out of here. We liked it when you weren't here, Fred.
And I want to
Fred.
bring up like the rap battling thing up again because I was watching somebody's reaction to one of like the videos that are out there like with Nick Cannon dissing Eminem, whatever the fuck. This one guy was like, "Oh, stop mentioning Eminem's daughter. It's offensive. Duh. That's the whole point." It's like there's no rules in this shit.
Yeah, diss tracks are supposed to be a diss track, and you know
Right.
it's supposed to diss the person that. Nick Cannon, though, that was, yeah, it was bad.
He's playing it smart though. Like it's
No,
crazy.
no,
Like
no, 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 no. That was trash.
no. Listen. Right.
It was a piece of shit. It was
But
bad. It was
no.
really bad.
But listen. It's all a marketing ploy for him. And people, because regardless
Yeah,
of how, because people could call it trash, but every time he drops a song, people click on it. You
yeah.
don't have
Any
to click on it.
publicity is good publicity. I get that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Did I ruin that?
I don't think
No.
so.
Because here's the thing.
Well,
We're
no,
doing
I want
porn
to hear
right now.
Perp because he was the one who brought it up, so I want to get his.
No, you're right. Like, cause like that's how shit works now. Like, any negative press is good press. You know
Is that it, or like is there something I'm missing?
what? No, you're not missing none.
Oh, well, I didn't mean to take your thunder, so I thought we were gonna have a debate or something. You know, that we agree. So
But no, like I respect like Nick Cannon going at like Eminem because everybody.
I don't, because it's just like there's like, why would you do that?
But that's
You're
the
an
thing,
idiot.
but that's the thing. Like, a lot of people think that in the hip hop space that you should be afraid of Eminem or some shit. Like, no, like why?
Be afraid of the white man.
Right? I was
Yes,
like,
yes.
and I
Fear
can't. I
the
like,
ra- Oh my
and that's
god!
what I'm
Like,
saying. I can't really stand like like Eminem's fan base are the most annoying fan base in hip hop because like a lot of people.
just imagine this, like, fear the rainbow, taste the rainbow. It's a
'Cause,
Skittles commercial because fuck M&Ms. They suck. They try to be different colors, but they're all the same on the inside. They're all
Delicious.
because
they are delicious. They are great, but just like
it annoys me with Eminem fans because like they're some of the most biased fans. You think like I just thought about it today, right? There are three fan bases that I think that are just. I'm not even gonna use the word toxic because that's like bad pacifist. It sounds
stupid
like
or something.
shit.
You know,
It's just stupid
Yeah.
fan bases. Just Eminem fans, or should I say stans?
That
MCU
explains why everyone says Stan on the internet.
Yeah.
That they're a Stan. I'm just like, what? Like, who the fuck is Stan? Stan Marshall? Like Stan Marston? It's like, are we talking about like the South Park guy? Like, what the fuck? What's going on? I never understood that for the
all right,
longest time.
let me rephrase that. Not stupid fan bases, just really weird fan bases.
No, it's
Extremely
fucking
weirdos.
stupid to call someone a Stan. Fuck you. No,
Hey,
just
that's-
say a fan. Say a
Hey,
fan.
that's-
Be a normal fucking human being and just say it. Don't
Hey,
say
blame
a
Eminem.
fan.
Blame Eminem for that because he made a song called
No,
Stan.
no. I'm not gonna blame Eminem, and I'm not gonna
That's where it
blame
started,
the
though.
brilliant track that he and Elton John recorded. That was beautiful, and all
That's
these Twitter assholes just like want to like just ruin it and just like call them all stands. Just like, fuck you.
But that's the whole point though. Like, that's how Eminem fans are. They'll live and die Eminem with like it. And like that's what I said. This annoys me about Eminem fans. They're super biased. So it's like even if Eminem went against somebody that was equal to them, they would never give that person credit on the bars that they.
And and we have like tracks where Eminem is offended by Donald Trump and shit like that. I'm just like, Eminem is
yeah, that's because
offended by
Eminem is
something.
gay.
He's not gay.
Well, sure
No,
he
he
is.
didn't make that movie where he jokingly.
Oh, in
movie?
the
Yeah,
interview,
he's
like,
gay. I saw the interview. He's gay.
Eminem's gay on our show. Eminem's gay on our show.
It was awesome.
Like, that's basically what it was. But no, actually, it's funny about that movie. My dad, he was saying that, like, dude, Justin, for Christmas that year, he's like, I want that. I want that movie for my birthday, and I bought it on YouTube, and I got it for him, and I was very happy.
But I mean, here's the thing.
Because that was like liberal America, saying like, hey, fuck you North Korea, fuck you Kim Jong-un. We don't give a fuck about any of this shit. We are Americans, and we will see this movie because we believe in the freedom of speech, freedom of expression, and I think that's the last time that I can remember that Americans were all together and saying like, fuck you, to like, it's about like the other. And if we don't have an other per se, we're just fighting amongst ourselves because we need someone to fight against for some reason. I don't know why.
It's tribalism.
Thank you. Maybe I went a little too far on that, but
No, that's what this stream is about. That's what this stream is about tonight. I did,
no, I meant like maybe I reached too far on that.
no, this we've had and we've been having a great discussion because this is what I wanted to do. I mean, watching that movie, it made me really think about like our channels and our communities
What, the
and the
interview?
things that we talk about. No, the no safe space.
No, say.
Watching
Okay.
Oh, I was gonna say, what the fuck?
It made me learn.
No, that
something
makes me
about
think
all
about
of us.
Hollywood right now. But
No,
but
I mean it's what I think it was. I actually disagree with you on that. It's like that's what Hollywood used to be, taking risk and standing up against something that was actually like standing up against an opposing force, but something that we could all agree on as Americans that this is wrong.
Yeah, but now we have to agree on how to acquiesce to make money from China.
Yeah, and God, like we have to all feel guilty about something that happened 200 years ago. Like why do you want us to, why are you focusing on this shit? If you make historical movies, that's brilliant. You should do that, and you have every right to do that, and it's part of our history. But to make it about it every single fucking day on the internet, it's like, go fuck yourself. And you know what? Like spend a day in that time period, and then come back and complain on Twitter. Because right now, you don't have a goddamn thing to complain about.
Right? First world problems. Oh no.
But here's the thing.
It's first world problems, and these people who are acting like they live in a third world country. Like it's ridiculous. It's so stupid.
And here's the
They
thing.
act like they are being treated the same way that all of those animals are treated in the ASPCA commercials.
Oh
And
my God.
And like here's the thing, guys. The thing that is dangerous about this is the target has shifted, okay? They've tried to hit us, the logical thinkers, by slowly or maybe not so slowly creeping in these things, and we're fighting back. We're saying, no, get the fuck out of our entertainment. So what are they doing? They are doing, and we're going to go back to World War II for a second. They're doing the exact same thing that dictators have done, and they're switching gears and they're hitting the youth. Now they are creating this idea that the world
Wait, you're talking
is
about
this.
child abuse?
Well, essentially, you could call it child abuse. They're abusing their common sense.
That's fair.
They are dumbing kids down, and they're creating this imaginary world that when you go out into the real world, that it's this rosy place, and that you have a point of privilege, and don't let the white man tell you what you can be.
Oh my God. Point of privilege. I must say, point of privilege. I'm hearing a lot of voices. So if you could all shut the fuck up, I would greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much. And you may continue. And they're all interrupting an Asian woman, so a female minority. So go fuck yourself. All these white dudes, seriously, we talk about mothers who should have had medical plans that included abortion. These are just. These are like the same people that should have had abortions, much like they are worse than the mothers who have their screaming babies on airplanes that you just want to open the emergency exit window just so you can throw out the baby. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Or it's really annoying when people bring their newborns or something like that into a movie theater. Like, why the fuck did you Stop doing that.
Okay, my parents did that for me, and they actually walked out of the theater because I was crying. No, so and they actually had the audacity to actually walk out. So, but it was a re-release, so fuck it. So,
I just wanted to highlight something, and Tommy brought up a good point, which was also brought up in this documentary, is that they're treating children like, or they're treating adults like children. Let me give you guys an example from this and a story that was told. This liberal, okay, keep in mind, this is a liberal who's down with the liberal views, right? But she wants to teach this civics class, right? So they give her the class because, hey, she's a liberal. Yes, she's going to see our views. Well, she brought up this interview with, I forget the Canadian's name, but this guy is like really hated. And he's like
Justin
a
Trudeau?
conservative. No, not
Or if
Trudeau.
he's a Canadian, he must be a nice guy, eh?
No.
Bacon.
He brings a
something.
shame to all of us Justins, and we used to savor that spot for Bieber, but he had a track called "Sorry," and he apologized, and we're all good.
The
No.
Biebs would never put shoe polish on his face like that.
Bieber is a true American.
No,
Honorary.
I'm talking.
Yeah,
this guy,
no, he really is. And
Okay, so
yeah.
this guy's a Canadian, but he's a conservative. He talks about different things. He talks about the culture and
Hey,
the.
Zod, I would
safe space
appreciate it
culture.
if you didn't interrupt us when we're having a conversation on your channel.
I'm sorry. That was my white privilege. I apologize.
I consider this a microaggression. Oh, God. I'm sorry. No, I just like I love you, Zod. I respect you, but shut the fuck up on your own channel. All right, I'll be quiet.
So this girl, she shows this argument, and it's between the conservative and this is in Canada, and a radio station or a local news station they have, who brought in this gay representative, and they went back and forth. She let the students watch this video and make their own opinions, right? And she didn't comment one way or the other. She said, okay, these are the arguments. What do you guys think? Let's discuss this. So the dean brings her into the office, and she records what they say. And they basically are saying that she should have taken a side, and she should have pointed out how wrong this guy was for his opinion. And she's like, I don't understand. So this guy says the line that, well, the material you're bringing up is to a younger crowd. And she goes, what are you talking about? These are adults. And she goes, yeah. He's like, yeah, but they're young adults. She's like, they're 18 years old. They're 18, 19, 20 years old. They're adults. And
yeah,
like,
they're adults, but they can't even have a fucking light beer, even though they can get their limbs blown off in the fucking army.
Thrown in jail.
Swinging back to the topic. So, basically he's saying that these kids who are paying a shitload to go to college, to learn, to get their degrees, and to go into the adult world, he's saying, well, I'm not saying they're not adults. So then he starts backtracking because this is a female.
I'm not saying they're not adults, but
they don't have the proper tools, and they're here so that they can dissect the information that we're trying to show them. And it's like, no, what you're basically saying is
trying to show them? What the fuck?
You're saying
this
that
is fucked up. This is actually really fucked up.
Yeah, you're saying you want to feed them the information as to how you see it. You want the teacher to give them the answer. You don't want them to talk about it. You want them to be fed the information and to be told what's right and wrong. And she's recording this whole thing. And at the end, then they tell you about all of these people and things like that. And she sued and won because they were basically, saying that in her own class, she had to be the one to moderate the conversation, that she was supposed to steer the conversation one way. And this is the fucking dean of the school. and then he brought in a female. And you know what they tried to say that she violated as far as the school policy? She violated the transphobic domestic violence bullshit clause. It was transphobic domestic violence because his speech was hate speech towards the gay community. But when he's talking and you hear the interview she played, he in no way attacked the fact that the person was gay. He was talking about the topic they were talking about, and the other person was bringing that into it. And so she was asking about the debate, like, okay, how are they debating, blah, blah, blah. And the school was like, by playing that clip and highlighting this person's interview, you're saying that it's okay to have aggressions towards the gay community. And I'm like, what?
Aggressions? What the fuck does aggressions mean? What the fuck? Aggressions towards the gay community? Look, it's a. If you're talking about microaggressions, just like it's my father saying like, oh,
I thought that the gays
couple,
loved
like,
BDSM.
oh yeah, it's just like it's like the microaggression was pointing out that gay people were gay. Just like, oh yeah, those guys are totally fruitcakes. Because they were holding hands and making out with each other, two dudes. Like that's a microaggression because we're pointing out that two gay people are gay. Like it's just like, what the fuck is this? But
Yep.
But can you picture that? Can you picture that you have a course, and now you are hired and
there's a
told,
course on it. Oh my god. Talking about like, oh my gosh.
like you have a course, and they tell you in this course, you're supposed to teach civics and you're supposed to teach debate, right? But then they turn around and they tell you, no, we don't want you to teach debating this way. We want you to teach it this way, right? Like, no, we don't want you to actually teach debating. You're throwing out a point. It's not debating. You can't debate if you don't have an opposing view. That's just a conversation. If we were all talking about something and we all agreed, then we're having conversation about a subject. Now, if we're all talking about a subject and a few of us are disagreeing about the finer points of the subject, and then we're debating about that particular issue, right? Like in a review, like anything that we do streaming, right? It's the differences between a discussion and having a healthy debate, a differing of opinions. And that's what the colleges are trying to cut out.
You
They
know what's
want to
funny?
cut out the debate.
You know what's funny is that when people have tried to like cut out the debate and try to like defend the gay community, a bunch of straight people have. Co-workers of mine have done that before, and one of my managers was like, well, when we were having off time and just saying like, well, you're not a part of the gay community. I'm just like, well, I'm half gay, but not for guys like you because you're not my type. Like just it's just like I would never go for a guy like you. It's just, and he's just like, what? Because I'm black? I'm like, no, because you're not attractive to me. It's just like, no, because, or I should have said no, because you're ugly. Like, look, if Larry Fishburne, who I actually saw the other night, I'm not joking about that, but and I did call him Larry, and his mom was there, and she laughed, and it was adorable. But no, I'm serious. Like his mom was there, and she laughed hysterically, just like a random guy like you don't know, just saying like, "Hi, Larry," and just goes to the bar. Just like the balls on this guy. You're
talking about Lawrence Fishburne?
Yes, Larry
Okay,
Fishburne.
that's what I thought.
Yeah. Whose movies?
So how old is his mother? Like frickin' 90?
Yes.
Damn.
Yeah.
She probably looks like she's about 25 though, because black don't crack.
No, she looked 90.
Dude, you're not supposed to say that about women. What the hell?
It's okay. It's okay. She looked 80, easily 80.
Okay.
But yeah,
that is pretty funny though. Hey Larry, what's up?
And the mom just cracks up. just, just like, do you know this person? No. It's just like, I don't. It's like he probably like he might have thought that I was just like some random guy who was a production assistant on one of his movies and said like, "Hi, Larry," you know, because everyone else did. But that's, I mean, like that's part of the fun of being in Hollywood. Is just not taking this shit seriously. You know, most people will be like, "All right, let's let these celebrities just be in the dark corner and just be themselves and just not be disturbed." And then some guy's like, "Hi."
Right,
He's
you
just
can't talk about Larry and say he's going to be in the dark corner.
He was in
That's
like the
racist.
no, he was in the darker part of the restaurant. Like it was.
How
It
could
was.
you see him then? Was he smiling?
Yes, that's how I recognized him. You idiot.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
Yeah, thank you. But no, he was wearing his glasses and everything. You know, like he wouldn't be recognized. Yeah, you should learn how to like, I don't know. But no, but it was a very net positive experience, I guess overall. I don't even remember what the fuck we were talking about.
Safe spaces.
Oh yeah, there shouldn't they shouldn't exist. They're stupid.
No, they're
So-
like gun-free zones. It's a place that you go to that you know for sure you can get attacked.
A gun
And-
free zone.
The irony.
It's the worst
Um,
thing ever invented.
And so here's the thing. I'm gonna start winding this discussion down because
Good
I
call.
got to get up early for
We
fire
should after this whole conversation.
inspection.
No, I'm going to be talking about my adventures of Larry Fishburne. You know.
Yeah.
By the way, Miss Sarcastic Nerd has been she was yelling at me earlier about that, and I texted her this morning saying, "Larry says hi." So anyone that has her number, just say that Larry Fishburne says hello, just to annoy her, because she's a big fan, and I have never seen a single film that Larry Fishburne has been in. Not a single film.
Wait,
And I
she's
got
never
to see
seen a single one? Or you've never
I-
seen a single one?
I haven't. And
You never saw Rogue One?
He wasn't in Rogue One.
Oh, that was the other black guy. How racist of me.
I saw him too. I saw him too at Celebration. I don't know what it is.
So you
I
saw
see-
Forrest Whitaker?
Yes, I did see Forrest
Which
Whitaker just walking around.
Which eye? Was his wondering eye looking at you?
He was wearing glasses, so I couldn't really tell. He didn't actually
That
look
was
at me.
smart of him. Because that shit's freaky, yo. You stare into his eyes too long, you just really just like, what the fuck are you looking at? What are you looking at over there?
Oh, does he have a lazy eye or something?
Yeah.
I'll tell you this though. I'll tell you this though. Nerdrotic Gary does have like a similar thing where it's just like he's looking at you, because I met him in person. He looks at you, and you're not quite sure if he's looking at you. I'm just like,
Yeah,
you're not
not sure if he's looking at you or if he's just looking at his glasses.
I could definitely tell by his glasses that he is blind as fuck. Because, like, them shits are pretty.
Oh, he's not blind. No, he's not blind by any means. But he does tend to like. I guess he shifts his eyes a little bit. But,
by the way, welcome according to Christy. Good to have you in here.
I don't know if that
Hello.
was my information to put out, so I'm sorry if Gary's offended, but he can tell me in a few days.
He'll be
Don't
fine.
be pissing off big channels here. I'm already I drop and gain subs like ridiculously these days.
Maybe because of the controversial things that you have to say.
Here's the thing.
Maybe people don't like villains; they like heroes.
Yeah, fuck
Yeah.
that. Fuck Superman. Anyways, um,
You want to fuck Clark Kent? Oh my goodness.
Yes, in a
no.
safe space.
With the make sure he's a male nurse.
Hey,
Make
love
sure
those
there's a
male
male
nurses.
nurse in there to facilitate you two. Make sure you're doing it
What'd you
properly.
say, Zod?
Nothing. I was saying it's a safe
All right,
space.
yeah, I heard that.
We know how you
No, but I
really.
mean, here's the thing that I've discovered is that
You're gay.
damn it, Justin, stealing the thunder all night, all night. I had my big reveal coming, and just spoiled.
It
This
wasn't
is supposed
so
to be my
big.
moment.
That's how
Right,
you
and
get
a
reviews,
lot of
right?
people would disagree.
Next stream, or like just have a random stream and call it Zod's coming out party. Just name it that.
To the view.
Oh my god.
You will have so many people in here.
And then just be like, I'm coming out of the closet in my room. I'm going into the room. Have my camera on. No, guys, I'm coming out of the literal closet. Why is everyone here? Why do I have 300 views? No, but I mean, here's the thing that I wanted to bring up. The whole topic of tonight. That's the thing, right? Controversy. You said it best, Justin. I do say controversial things. Why? Because it is my right to
He ain't listening
say
to
it.
you anymore.
I know he hasn't, but I'm still gonna bring it anyways. It's my right to be controversial, just like it's people's right to say things. That's why we have a chat. It's your right to sit there and say, hey, you're a dickhead. I mean, I like a little bit more context, but if that's what you want to put, you have the right to do that because we have the freedom of speech. And without the ability to say what we want to say, then it makes the conversations uninteresting. We have been talking for 2 hours and 46 minutes now and having a great talk. Some things we debated, some things we didn't, some things we came to agreement on. Everyone had a different perspective. And that is what conversation should be about. And that's why I called this the no safe space stream, because the safe space is an oxymoron within itself. Because in order to have ideas, in order to have good conversation, in order to debate or to be heard your view, by that nature, your conversation can't be safe. It's got to be daring. You got to have risks in it. Now, I'm not saying you got to go to the extreme and start yelling out obscenities and stuff like that, but even then, you still have the right to do that because you live in America. You're protected by the First Amendment. And this idea that just because we differ on opinion, that one side can't speak or the other side can't speak is ridiculous. By nature, it's what creates racism. It's what creates bigotry. It's what creates morons, basically, because it's small minded, it's narrow minded thinking. Justin was so like offended about me coming out of the closet. He had to take a moment to leave, but he's back here to debate it. He thought,
No, it's
I
because
gotta let him come out of the
the
closet.
gays, what should be my heroes, the people who support me, and my decision to, be half, with the same sex and half with not, half with women. I guess that's the side that they tend to take offense on. But they also hacked my internet and thinking that you should have insufficient internet because you sleep around or something like that. I don't know. Some stupid shit.
Sounds right to me.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, Proper. You said the thing that is important is attack, right? It's not it's come to a point where it's not discussions anymore, it's attacking. And there's a difference between a spirited debate. Me and PB have them all the time. I say something stupid, PB's blood pressure rises, and he in turn yells back. But there's points in there. And then I in turn laugh because I get a great joy of raising his blood pressure and pissing him off. And it's our back and forth. But we debate it
Fucking
out, right?
villains.
We're
Wait,
talking.
wait. You do that on purpose?
Of course he does.
Yeah, how long have you been coming here, man?
5.
I mean,
Say it with me.
oh, jeez,
5.
yep. Feige, I know.
5.
Hey, Fiji, Fiji, Farga,
Yee.
Fergie, Fergie.
Feige. Not Kevin
I always thought it
Feige.
was Fiji.
No, that doesn't work.
Kevin Fiji.
Kevin Figgy Newton.
Hey, fuck it, I'm just calling him Kevin.
Magma.
Oh, Kevin Fag Newton. I'm like, what? What are you, Fag Newton? What the fuck are you talking about? Like, no, Fag Newton. That's like the caddy bar, right? Like, no, that's not how you pronounce it. How dare
But
you
no, here's,
offend
but here's-
my community that swears itself against me? How dare you? No.
but
go ahead.
here's the thing, though. Swinging back to the
Whose
subject, this
vibrator is on? I have to ask this.
Really?
My fault. Smart controller.
Oh, yeah, it's just vibrating itself. Hmm.
That's so
Yeah.
crazy. Y'all can hear that.
Yeah, it's so crazy. We can hear yourself.
You got a good
masturbating like that.
microphone.
Mhm.
but here's
So
the
great.
thing.
Can
Here's
you
the
take
thing,
your vibrating butt plug somewhere else?
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. So I love you, Perp. I love you, Perp. It's just he's playing video games, so that's the explanation.
I'm
for that.
playing Star Wars like a true Star Wars fan.
Yeah, I did that when I was like 5 years old too. All right, cool.
But see, here's the thing that's we've been doing all night. We have been joking, talking, debating at times, hearing each other's different points of views, and this is why I love this community. And it's funny because we get called the bigoted ones or whatever else, the misogynists and all this stuff. But here we are. We can all have different perspectives and still be able to talk it out. And you got these other people, they don't listen. They just attack. It's not a debate. It's defense. It's like just one side attacking the other. And you can't have a good discussion without both people being heard. And that's what we're losing. We're losing the middle ground. We're losing the point where we sit down. And even if at the end of the day or at the end of the night, I still don't agree with what you have to say, or I still don't particularly care for your opinion, we can leave knowing, hey, I got something out of it. Maybe they got something out of it. Go about our way, and we can still do another show about something different.
Like
And
it's like
what's
learning
missing.
from other people, learning from other people's opinions, and I think that debate isn't as dead as we all think, because normal people exist. Like, people think that everyone from California is like that. I had a conversation from people who were on set with me, and believe you me, the on-set, like the below-the-line talent is what they want to call them. The above-the-line, like the producers, the directors, the writers, the actors, the pretentious cocksuckers, if you will. Excluding Neil Patrick Harris. He's cool, obviously. He's not a cocksucker, I don't think.
Nope. Well,
Nope, not at all. No, but that's a joke. No, but in all seriousness, though, people are very, like, they're hardworking people who make everything that you see possible. Everything that you see, not the creative decisions, but they're creative in a way that makes something special that you don't really think about, and a lot of those people are very normal. Like I was talking to like people who were in charge of the different department than I was for a commercial that I was working on, and they were saying like, if we're having a conversation, if you and me, he said, if you and me, he's very progressive. If you and me are having a conversation, and he said this, and I quote, and I say the word faggot, like, and then some other person comes up to our conversation and says that they were offended by it, he said, I would be like, bitch, fuck you. You weren't a part of this conversation. Go away. Why would you butt into this? And to me,
No, yeah, you got to have all of the context for something like that.
Yeah, it's just like you didn't hear the first part of it. You didn't hear what we were gonna say afterwards until your twinky little ass came in. It was just like,
I heard you say a word I don't like. Knock it off.
Yeah. Cry yourself into a pool of your own blood and tears, like whatever. Not that I would, hit you over the head because of your stupidity, but maybe your mom dropped you on the head a few times and you just feel the need to interrupt every conversation like you did when you were screaming like a little baby, interrupting your parents' conversations, something you're just clinically used to. But just these literal crybabies, just saying like, I didn't like what you said that I heard you say in the distance, not knowing the context of what was going on. And and these people like are the unsung heroes. Just like these people are just they are common sense people. They're very common sense people, but you don't hear about that because all you hear about are the virtue signaling above the line talent, the writers, the directors, the producers, the actors, and all of them have virtually the same opinion because they're the faces of everything. And people, these people who work much harder than you do. All you have to do is play pretend, the actors. But it's a very hard job. I understand that. But these people do things that you could never do in your fucking life. Harrison Ford is a perfect example. He can do the below the line talent thing. He can build a fucking shed. And he can also do a better acting job than you can ever do. He appreciates these kind of things, and it's people that don't appreciate the below the line talent and also are virtue signaling, saying like, oh, we should have like these sort of things. It's so stupid. I don't know where I was going with this, but like it's just so dumb. But I'm trying to say is that not everyone in Hollywood is like this stupid kind of stereotype, this caricature that people say like, oh, everyone like, oh, Hollywood is like so stupid. I'm just like, yes, but you're talking about people who write the shit.
So, yeah, that's some good insights, some very good points there. And I'm gonna start.
No comments, I guess.
No. When it
I
comes
rambled
to
on too much. Sorry.
no, but that's the point. That's the point of this stream. That's the whole point.
Is to ramble. Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Is to ramble, yes, but is to give our views and our perspectives, our insights, and to let people who will come in or people who have come in or people who will listen later to listen to it and go, okay, what's my opinion of this particular subject? How do I feel? And you know what, people, if you listen to this playback, leave comments, let us know, let me know, and I'll convey it to the rest of the bridge crew. But speak your mind. All right. I'm going to leave off with this and sort of start wrapping things up. But this is my
Grim
whole point.
Monolith says the point is to entertain me.
Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained?
Can someone like give like a little Santa hat for me on my avatar? I would appreciate that.
God damn it, Proper. I'm getting into my
I will.
mode. Talk about the
You
Santa's
want me
hats
to
after.
make you a avatar, or you want me to just send you the picture of the Santa hat?
No, just put a Santa hat on my head, on my avatar, and I would love it.
Okay. Okay. Give me a little bit of time.
Okay,
Keep talking, Zod.
so here's the thing. Here's the point of this stream that I wanted to bring up and why I did this tonight is the fact that people here in the fandom zone, like I've had a lot of funny things said in the chat and some things, not so funny that's pissed me off or things like that. But here's the thing. I'm not going to tell you not to be you because no matter if you say something that I might feel is a jab at me or that might in a way piss me off about things, I'm not going to silence your opinion because it is your opinion. Because I respect the fact that you're coming here to listen to my opinion. And this is how dialogue is supposed to work, people. We are supposed to have open communications with each other. And the sad truth of it is that all of these bad things that have happened is because of the fact of what people are trying to promote now is the lack of communication. That's what it all comes down to. That's what you can sum up this whole bag of fuckery that's been going around is a lack of communication. It's a lack of wanting to hear the other side. And here's the sad part. We have people in these positions promoting this idea that it's okay to shut down other people's opinions, that it's okay to only have your viewpoint heard. And it's not. Look, you call me an asshole, that's fine. I respect your opinion. I don't agree with it, or maybe I do. I am a bit of an asshole, but it's your right to say that. If you dislike our video, it's your right to do that. We personally make these things for you to tell us what you think about it. Now, for us to come up and say, oh, look at this asshole. He gave me a thumbs down. Oh my God. What is he thinking? I worked so hard on that video. No, that should be motivation to do better. These things, these comments,
Thank
these
you. I
critiques,
have been saying this for years now at this point.
these
A
comments,
dislike, I dislike a video that has no dislikes because I want to do it for motivation to make you even better than you
exactly.
ever were before. That's why I dislike a video, and I only do it because it has no dislikes. And if it has no dislikes, what are you going to learn from it? Like everyone likes it. Oh, so we're gonna have like every live stream like this? No, I want you to do better. So I give you a
Exactly.
dislike for your own good, and for your own good, Zod, I'm going to give this stream a dislike. Not because there are 0 dislikes. I actually don't have it pulled up because I don't really care. But but no, I have to do it to give you, because you promoted this yourself. You did this to yourself, I guess, in a way. So
Yeah,
I am
but
going to pull up this stream in my notifications, which are buried deep within, and I'm going to give you your second dislike, giving you from 22 likes to 21 likes. I'm not apologizing for it, but I have to do this for your own good. So you can improve and to not have your ego inflated. That's why else do you think that I dislike every single one of Jeremy's videos? I have to do it. I have to do it for his sanity, for him to not get his ego inflated, which happens from time to time. But with my help and my motivation for disliking every single one of his videos that feature him in it specifically, I'm able to give him the motivation that he needs to do better This is why he went from 100,000 to 200,000 subscribers in 1 year. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, it was that proper push.
Yeah, I know. It's all because of me and just liking all of his videos that made him what he was. Obviously.
And now here's the thing. Here's the thing. Getting back on track to what I was saying.
You were saying something on your channel? I'm sorry, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, you rude. you rude, privileged fuck.
Now you're getting into the spirit of it.
Now, but here's the thing, though. It should be okay for people to have critiques about things. Now, don't get me wrong. What's not okay is just randomly going and saying something without giving it proper context. Sure, like if you're just saying fuck you every time and not giving a reason, okay, that's just being mean-spirited and that there's no real reason. But you know what? Don't be afraid to tell your creator what you don't like about something. And don't feel because you're listening to someone that you're automatically obligated to just like everything that they do, or that you can't put something in the comment if you disagree with a particular thing within a video. God, this is what the First Amendment is about. The moment that we stop encouraging people to think, the moment that we stop encouraging people to say what they feel, is the moment that this fucking society dies. It's the moment that creativity dies. The moment when people can't think outside this fucking narrow box that we're putting around ourselves is the moment, folks. It's the moment that's the scariest of all. It's the moments where you won't have Star Wars of any kind. It's the moments where you won't have any animes, you won't have cartoons, you won't have things that are outside the norm.
That will be the end of the world. How off myself.
I knew Perp was going to say something. The moment that you accept that what people are saying is true and that you don't fucking think for yourself is the moment you give up your right. That's giving up your right to be an American. People are missing the whole point. It's not about race. It's not about your fucking culture. It's not about whether or not you like the same things I like.
To be fair,
it's
some of our viewers are not American. Some of them are British, so
exactly.
We have to give them some sympathy. There's a reason why we left you.
Some of them are Australian. We got all sorts of people that listen to us, but here's the thing. When they come into our channel, they get a taste of being able to let things go, to say what they want to say, to have that great feeling, because
that's the thing, that
other
places should be a platform for everyone like this, for the freedom of speech.
We should be lifting people up, and we should be encouraging different views and different opinions. We shouldn't be hindering them. We shouldn't be condemning people. And these learning facilities shouldn't be condemning critical thinking. They should be improving it. They should be fostering it. That's why Hollywood is having a problem with the creative process, because like Proper said, sure, at the lower level, you got the hard worker building the sets, busting their ass, right? But you have the guy up above being a dickhead at ruining the whole thing because he's narrow-minded. But the guy who is creatively there is pushed to the background because we're listening to this fucking figurehead. Don't be a sheep. Stop listening to other people's opinions. Fucking form your own opinion. My God, you don't have to take my word for it. You don't have to take PB's word for it. You don't have to take
Yes, you have to take my word for it. Don't listen to him.
You don't have to.
Thank you, PB, for speaking for me on this, on my behalf. I appreciate that. Well,
yeah, check Twitter.
Check Twitter.
I sent you a picture.
Oh my God. That's the tiniest dick I've ever seen, PB. I'm disappointed.
But here's
what did you send? Oh God.
But here's the point. This is the beauty of what free speech is supposed to be and what this platform is supposed to represent. We are all supposed to come together with different views and opinions and add something. And if I don't piss off someone or offend someone, then I'm not doing a good enough job, because I want you to be mad. I want you to think outside the box. I want you to challenge your thinking. I want you to challenge me. I want you to call me out on bullshit. PB does it consecutively, and he should. People should be able to call other people out and to talk and debate. It's healthy. Safe spaces suck. They're an oxymoron. It doesn't work. Break out of your fucking safe space, coming to the real world and have a fucking conversation. Twitter warriors, put down your fucking phones, and instead of being little pansies above a keyboard or just typing 2-word answers, explain yourself. Okay? Bring
You're
up a good
not
argument.
you're not a liberal if you say that you are anti-free speech. Liberal principles include some of the following, and this should be like American principles at this point, not just liberal principles, but freedom of speech. That's number one. That's something that all of these SJWs have a big problem with. Oh, God forbid, you said something that I didn't agree with, you monster! How dare
Exactly.
you? Like, what the fuck? And, oh my God, cultural appropriation. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? I thought this was
That's
a
definitely
melting
a real
pot.
thing.
How? How?
When you got the Catch Me Outside girl wearing box braids, and she's talking black.
Oh my God, she has braids. Oh my goodness. How dare she? How dare somebody wear have dreadlocks and they're white? Oh my goodness, the way that they wear their hair. I don't agree with
And
that.
that's and
So
and that's
I do ask you, like, what is the problem with somebody having their hair a certain way? Or maybe it's like the Catch Me Outside girl in general. Like, I don't like her either. But she
No, it's just the way she carries herself and the way she comes about talking about it. Like, relax.
like,
Just relax.
what do you mean?
No, just
Well, I
it's
mean,
just
I'll grant you that she's like a fucking dumbass, and you know she's obviously has problems, and she shouldn't be exploited on the Dr. Phil show. Like, she should be going to a psychologist to have her brain fucking re-scrambled because it was scrambled wrong the first time. You know, I totally get that, but I'm confused where it comes to cultural appropriation because she has a song or something.
or
I don't know.
here's a better example. You remember Rachel? What was her name? Rachel Dolezal or something like that. The chick that like literally thought she was black, or she put on blackface and everything, and she was like,
Oh, like the redheaded chick that thought that she was black, but she clearly wasn't.
yeah,
That's not.
she
I
was a
mean,
bad.
that's a very extreme example.
But here's the thing. To bring this to a close, everybody, look, I want you guys to think, to talk, to interact. I always appreciate my chat, and I'm sure everyone here on the panel, in all seriousness, does. And I think something that's universal, no matter whose channel you go on, or something that should be universal, is that
Yeah, we'll have
we
this
should have,
conversation another day for sure.
yeah,
Because we have been going for like over 3 hours, so I'm
yeah.
sorry about that.
No. That's the point, proper. That's the point. We were having a conversation. That's the exact point of this stream, is to have a conversation, to just have a talk about all these things, and to talk about talking. I know it's funny, the irony of it all, but because we have to talk about this stuff, and we have to bring these topics up because they're real issues, they're real things, and we should be addressing them. And people are scared and shy and want to shy away from this shit, and we should be embracing it. We should be accepting views. We should have different counterpoints, and everyone tonight or who comes on always brings a different point of view, and I appreciate that. And that's why I wanted to do this stream, because especially seeing that, it struck me hard. Like, this is what we do, or this is why we do what we do. This is why we come on every night, or we make our videos or things like that. It's because we want people to be able to express themselves and to be to be able to feel like, yeah, someone gets it. Someone has my point of view, or maybe the guy who doesn't, to come on and go, I don't agree with that, but I do see where you're coming from. It should foster conversation, and hopefully I've reached a couple of people, or people later will see this, and this will spark a lively debate, because it should. It should debate. We should talk about this. This is, the name, Phantom Talks, or Late Night Talks, or any of those. It's about talking is always in my title, because that's what we should be able to do. So I'm going to go down the line and let you guys know about the other great things we got coming from these fine panelists. And thank you, everybody, because this has been a really great thing. This is actually a really serious thing to me, so it was a little bit more of a serious discussion, but we had some lighthearted moments. And I do appreciate being able to be, serious once in a while about these things. So, Perp, go ahead and tell them about any great videos you got coming out.
It's Perp, the leader of the Kylo Menace. And
Oh my god.
I
I'll
thought
explain
Kylo
later.
Jeremy was the leader of the Kylo Menace, but
No.
I'm 100% Ben Solo all the way. I hope the First Order prevails in the Rise of Skywalker, because that would
Destroy the
only
past.
be appropriate.
Destroy the past. Kill it if you must.
No, kill the past. I mean, fuck, I don't remember that terrible movie.
It's not terrible. But anyways,
It's
Rise of Skywalker. I will have a Rise of Skywalker review next week. I'm excited because I'm a fan of movies. I get excited for movies. I feel like a little kid again, but I'm not. I'm a grown ass man. But yeah, it's been cool. I don't know if I'm gonna drop a video tomorrow. I might do it. I might not. I don't know. You never know. But something's coming. So, it's cool chilling with everybody, as usual.
Well,
Awesome.
thanks. I appreciate the compliment.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you
Perp.
so
That
much.
was awesome.
It's Mr. Wren.
Mr. Wren. And of course, we have the proper of the most highest order, Justin
I like
Proper.
that. The Purple Menace. The Purple Menace.
I am a man of many colors.
Jesus Christ.
Where's your fucking hat, dude? I sent you the picture.
I'll see if I
Why
can
do I
find
do
that.
this to myself? Jesus Christ.
I don't know. Why do you choose to indulge in masochism? I don't know. Ask the bitchy unicorn. We would all love to know. Anyways, okay. I'm gonna have Santa hat. Santa proper. Or the proper Santa. All right. Thank you. Thank you, PB. But I'm going to have the first off, This Week in Bullshit is going to be commencing tomorrow for the first time in 2 weeks because of my vacation and the fact that I didn't feel like doing anything this week or this last week. And also, I'm going to be having the first anniversary. It's going to be the 1 year anniversary of the Council of Jeremy's happening for the first time. That was a totally different time, and for people who haven't seen it, it's one of the few live streams that you can see on my channel. As it really is a classic. You can check it out. It was so many great memories there. It was the 1 year anniversary of The Last Jedi being projected in theaters everywhere in 2018, and in 2017. And in 2018 is when I had the Council of Jeremy's after I had my appendix removed. It was so great. And now I'm going to have the 1 year anniversary here. And I'm also going to have a panel for once I see The Rise of Skywalker. that anyone is invited to, because I know that everyone and their fucking mother is going to have a fucking review, and they're going to have everyone, like, their world-class bullshitters is going to have something, Geeks and Gamers is going to have someone. Well, I'm going to have a panel where anyone is fucking invited. Everyone is invited, because, you know, every other channel, every other big channel is going to be, like, exclusive to, like, the big wigs or whatever. I'm just like, no, this is for you guys. This is for you guys to come in and say your piece and then go away. Like, if it, like, no,
Come in, give me your opinion, and then I will block you.
no, no, I mean, I mean, in all seriousness, though, I'm gonna have it be an open debate, you know, whether you liked it or not, because I'm sure that there are people who are gonna be more susceptible to, like, you know, liking it than not. So I'm just gonna make it an open debate. You know, people can talk about it if they want, come in and out, and be open to everybody, except you know, instead of just being just like a few people who just are just, you know, on the top of the food chain, I guess, and whose opinions matter. Everyone's opinions matter here. So that's where I stand on that, and you know, hopefully that doesn't come off as pretentious or anything, but or like that I hate anybody who has, you know, big any of the big channels, because I love.
I feel like what you said came off as anti-pretentious.
Yep.
Well, oh, thank you, but, you know, I just want to make it clear that I don't want it to, you know, I don't want to, like, give the wrong impression. You know, I want anyone's opinion to be there. So I'm just having an open
You
discussion.
don't want to give the impression that LB gives all the time, that he has a problem with Jeremy, even though he doesn't.
No, the exact opposite. Like, you know, Geeks and Gamers will only have Geeks and Gamers people on, and I'll have everyone on, because why not? And
well, I mean, no, he totally will have non-Geeks and Gamers people on, but you gotta reach a certain threshold.
No. What's gonna happen is he's gonna, like, do his review. He's gonna have a live stream, and he's gonna have, like, Drunk 3PO and Mary on and everything. And
don't forget Ryan. Don't forget Ryan.
Oh, how can we forget the guy who has a muscle shirt in his profile picture?
Mr. Outpost Spaghetti Straps himself.
Did he get any muscles with that shirt?
No.
That's my question. No, but no, I have a lot of fun with everyone there, and I'm very close with those guys. So, but, you know, I do want to, like, do something different. You know, just not have, like, the same people have the same opinions, who just, like, okay, we're gonna hate the Rise of Skywalker because we're predetermined to hate it. I'm like, no, I want someone who comes on here who loved it. Thought it was the best Star Wars film ever.
You have someone right now.
Ha 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 ha.
Hey, if you love it, you know, you're welcome on. I'll even put it in the fucking chat. Anybody can come on. Not guaranteed.
So that whole boycotting Star Wars Episode 9, that was fake news, apparently. So that everybody's gonna go see Episode 9.
Dude, none of them were boycotting Episode 9.
I will see it so you don't have to see it. That's the thing. Like, I'll do it because you don't have to. And
Justin's been saying that since, like, August.
Yeah, and, you know, in all honesty, you know, if you do see it, like, look, I saw Knives Out. I paid $5 to see it. Yeah, it was really good. I loved it, and I have no shame in saying it. You know, but $5, like, oh, God forbid Brian Johnson gets, like, $2.50. $2 of my money. So, like, who cares?
Yeah, I'm getting, like, I got a coupon for, like, a $5 off on a ticket. I might just go the same day, or not the same day, because it'll be like 1 o'clock in the morning. Might go see the 1 o'clock in the morning show of Rise of Skywalker, so I'll see it twice in less than 28 hours, 24 hours.
No, Tommy, Geeks and Gamers isn't a monopoly. Shut up. It's all
anyway,
good. No,
Moving
but
on, the longest plug ever. Holy fuck.
Oh no, you
Yep.
ain't talking.
Yeah,
we
that's
were
why
just
I'm
having a
talking.
conversation. What happened to the freedom of speech that you
How
just
rude.
that whole rant that you had? Oh my goodness.
Freedom of speech does not mean freedom from consequences.
Yeah, the consequences having General Zod talk on his own channel. Oh god.
Right,
The
that's the
suffering.
consequence.
Hey, Lee, we love you. You know that.
Who's that? Zod? Yes, Zod, we love you.
It's ma'am.
Fucking
Oh,
Californians.
dear God. All right.
Oh, sorry.
So-
What?
Oh,
Yes,
you
yes.
fucker.
Lee meaning Zod. Absolutely. I just wanted to wait. So
It's just it's an alternate pronunciation.
it's a 3-letter word. So
Oh.
hey Tommy? What's an imcro aggression?
I know, that was funny. I was like, what the fuck? And then he typed it. I was like, oh, yeah, micro. Okay.
Yeah, the misplaced R is the main concern. Yeah. Lee Harvey. No.
So are you done proper? All you have coming up is This Week in Bullshit and then the 1-year anniversary of the Council of Jeremy's?
And also the live stream of The Rise of Skywalker where anybody is invited.
Right. No regular videos?
I won't say that. I'll definitely have regular videos. Hell, I may even go to the premiere, which is a 30-minute walk from my house.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, in LA. So, yeah. If someone sends me a Rise of Skywalker poster, I'll have it signed by Adam Driver for you, and then I'll send it to you.
Interesting. That's the
Oh,
only
what?
signature you're willing to get?
I want Daisy Ridley.
Oh, God.
You can have both.
Ooh,
2 for the price of 1.
interesting.
And, of course, the person who is fashionably late and when they're here keeps me in line. Mr.
Thank
Pop
you.
Culture PB. Go ahead and
wait, PB. Oh, excuse me.
tell them about
Yeah,
the
you
brand
should
new
be
video you
excused.
literally
Stop
posted.
stepping on my toes with your microaggressions, you colorful bastard.
Sorry about my imcro aggressions.
Imcro. Oh, shit. That's a good one. I like it a lot. I'll probably have to stick with that, with these imcro aggressions. Damn. Yeah, you can find me at Pop Culture PB. Go to my channel. Watch the video that I just released because it took fucking all goddamn day to upload because I live in the Northwoods of Wisconsin and my upload speed is shit. It's a review for the last episode of Batwoman. Apparently, they can make a good episode, and all it takes is using all of the heroes that they have in the DC CW universe.
Shit.
Terrible universe.
What was that, Purple Man?
I said it's a terrible universe. I ain't stuttered.
Oh, I didn't hear you. I didn't think you stuttered. I just didn't hear it clearly.
Crisis in Infinite Earth or something?
That's correct. Crisis on
It-
Infinite Earths.
It should be Crisis on Infinite Trash Realities in this TV show called
Yeah, it was
W.
pretty bad to begin with, so it's just like expecting anything better. Yeah.
I'll wait for the movie version.
Yeah.
You'll never get a movie version.
Yeah, because
20
it's a
years.
piece of shit. Yeah.
Bunch of trolls.
The Arrowverse. Ugh. Sorry,
So-
you
That's
had
all I
it.
got, Zod.
Okay. So, anyways,
Take
thank you
control.
everybody for coming to the channel. I got some things coming up. I actually got another game review coming up because I did a short one and it turned out pretty well. It had like 25 views now on it. It is very unexpected. So I might do a couple of those. And I also have just started a brand new podcast. I did my intro and I have a short 39-second video, probably the shortest video on my whole entire channel, which is just my promo for my podcast. They will be hour-long podcasts. I may have some people from these panels on my show, and I'm going to just talk about entertainment and things like that, movies, games, and maybe even some politics, because fuck it, it's a podcast. So I'm going to be doing General Zod's Fandom Zone podcast. So
That
That's
title
So
is
is that
weird.
indica or sativa?
Hybrid.
Oh, okay.
so
Or you
It's
should just
true.
call it the Zodcast. Zodcast. To make it shorter.
The vodcast.
No, the Zodcast.
Oh, the vodka cast. That's what I thought you were going with.
no, that's a separate segment. Anyways,
The vodcast.
Y'all are goofy as hell.
Russian trolls reunite.
but the link for the podcast I actually put in the description in this video, so you can go and check it out. I only have my intro right now, but I will be record episode 1 tomorrow, so definitely tune in to that, and I'll post it on Twitter as well. I've also found out that through this program, I'm going to be distributed to like Spotify and all of those, so I'm just waiting to hear back from them. But yeah, it's pretty big stuff. I'm gonna expand the fandom zone.
I am not
So-
playing this podcast trailer.
So yeah, definitely check it out, and I may have some panelists on there as well.
For the
too, so
protection of
you
me
guys
and my
can
family, can you private the stream? I would appreciate it.
So
What?
private the stream. What?
Maybe.
Thank you.
So anyways, thank you everybody for tuning
Why the
in.
fuck did you get so uncomfortable? It was supposed to be a joke.
I don't know why he got uncomfortable. Big pause. He's like, I don't know what to do with myself.
He sounds like Jerry Seinfeld. Like, oh, I don't know what to do. Ah, the Snoop Nazi. Oh,
Sorry.
I have a toothbrush that's on the floor. Oh.
Hey, I started having some white guilt there. Okay.
Jesus.
Anyway,
Because of Seinfeld? What? The... Oh.
Oh.
but anyways, thank you for joining
Well,
this.
that's why
group of
Elaine
crazy
broke up
bastards.
with him.
As always, you guys remember the rule here in the Phantom Zone. Me,
Don't drop the soap.
No.
General Zod.
No.
Oh.